What's up, everyone? Make sure you check out the West West Network website at westwestnet.com. Here you can find amazing independent podcasts based in Aotearoa, covering everything from pop culture to mental health. Also, if you enjoy our content and want to support us, please consider clicking on the support button on the homepage of the website. We appreciate your patronage and look forward to delivering more thought-provoking and quality conversations.
West, y'all.
Use a day and try to get paid for doing things like that if you want.
Yeah, well, because all the big dogs in the podcast in that world, they use like other people to outsource because it's their time, you know, spending 3 or 4 hours editing and chopping up audio and video. They could better use their time somewhere else. And so they just pay someone that's an expert in it, a relatively affordable price, and you know, everybody wins. But yeah, I don't have like that sort of disposable income, you know, to do that. Yeah. Like when I listen to Tim Ferriss's one, and he does a lot of that, like outsourcing and getting people to do different parts of his job, like contractors and that, and for his podcast. But he just talks about it like, oh yeah, just pay this guy $100 here to do this. Like it's nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the everyday podcaster, that's a lot, you know?
I guess that's a way to use the money that's invested in the podcast, or, you know, when we do the fundraising, or when we do the, like, you know how we've got the West West Network, the donation thing?
Yeah.
Like that's
what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That money goes to use if you get professionals to try to tidy up, and because that's a job that you don't have to do.
Yeah,
you can concentrate on
creating content, getting
there.
guests, better guests, and different things like that.
So that outsourcing is pretty important. Like, if you get to a stage where you can do that, where you can outsource it out. Yeah,
definitely that would be a good goal to. And yeah, Tim Ferriss, you know, he's got a great podcast, and I learn a lot from him. And he's big on outsourcing people who are skilled in certain aspects that you maybe not be as efficient in, you know. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm a big believer in that. And my cousin Max, when we were at Zealous, he put me onto it actually, in terms of he found out, I think through a course or some online stuff, and then we hired a virtual assistant to do some reports for us in terms of numbers, and so we could sort of see where we were lacking in the business, like numbers weekly, and just some general basic numbers that we could look at, and they would do like a report and then send it to us weekly. So that was really good. That was probably like one of my first times seeing it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, and they just send it to you. But she was starting to get late, like sending the reports and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes they get cocky or like lazy, you know, like they've been doing a good job, and then, you know, then they start like 2 or 3 days late and things like that. So you got to give them the kippy and like get the next one.
That's when the fiver turns into fire. Give me slack.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm thinking about. I was thinking before about last year, maybe 2 years ago, about, you know, the marketing side of things. I know I was talking to Ria about it, and she was saying, you know, like we should think about paying out for marketing, like if we get some money and all that. So, which is always a good idea. Eh? Like we're not really experts.
No.
You know, but if you get to that point when you can do it, then you should.
I think I read like a couple of books and stuff, and so I was like, I think I know. But when I was, you know, you daydream and reflect, I was like, I don't really know. I just think I know, because like, look at the results. I haven't got the results I want, so obviously I don't know. So there's people that do know. And did you listen to that Mr. Beast one? He's on the Joe Rogan.
I listened to maybe the first half an hour of it, and he was an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Did you know him before, Mr. Beast?
Nah. One of my nephews, Fier's nephews, put me onto him.
Mm.
I heard about him actually a few times, but he was watching a video, and I was like, what are you watching? He's like, oh, Mr. Beast. And I was like, oh, cool, let me check it out, because, you know, I heard of him, but I never watched it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool videos, pretty interesting stuff. But I like the man. But yeah, just him talking about marketing, and man, he's the man, in terms of his studying and finding little details and why people watch, and thumbnails and all these, the color, the lighting, the time. I was like, oh yeah, I'm nowhere, you know, that's an expert there, eh?
When I heard that story in the beginning of that podcast, when he's talking about how, like you said, he was a kid, and he just non-stop YouTube, and his mum was mad. Yeah. Mum wanted him to do well at school, but he just wanted to do YouTube. Yeah. That's a perfect example of how, you know, like these days, you get millions of dollars if you're expert at gaming, and you go to these gaming competitions. But when we were kids playing games, our parents are the one will want to see us do that. Like it's a living now. You can make a living out of it if you're good enough.
Yeah, there was a guy who came to our school and he did a big talk on it, and they're millionaires, and it was a good presentation he did. He was saying, like, the kids, that they're into this whether you like it or not, and you've got to try to understand where they're at and where their head's at. Like, it's a different time, and for us to impact the kids, and that we've got to see where they're at, maybe play a few games and relate to them and understand, and it's just the way it is, moving forward. And it's growing. So the old school way is, we're going to adapt with what the kids are doing, and maybe not like do it all, but just we've got to understand, like where the kids are, where their heads at and what they're doing, what they're interested in.
I understand that times are changing, and there's like a young person's world now with the digital realm and computers and all that IT. These kids are born into this world now, and so they probably get a gist of it early and try to discover new things and try to make new professions out of it. I don't know, but we'll see. But that Mr. Beast one, you know what? When you told a story about how much time he had to put in for his work, and it was all passion at the beginning,
Yeah.
Like when Joe Rogan talked about the 10,000 hours. That was off what's his name? That author.
Malcolm Gladwell.
The 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
But he did like more than that.
I think he said he put in 100,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
But like it told me, like if successful people like that, like you never know how much pain and suffering they have to put in the work, even though it's not pain and suffering for them, but it will be for you if you find out how much work you put in.
Yeah.
And to me, I was thinking, man, I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I cannot wake up at 7 a.m., go on YouTube, and finish it at 10 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. But it seems to be the common thread that they enjoy it, that it's a passion, and it's like you said, it's not. It's painful maybe from the outside, but for them it's not.
Mm. But for island kids, like no parents will let their kid do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it was more later on he started to do that, because his mum didn't like it, and
he quit college. Yeah.
And then he was doing it in his car or something like that. But in terms of, it seems I listened to the one where he had that climb of the 14 peaks. Did you see that movie?
No.
It's a good one. It's about a climber, and he climbs the 14 most highest mountains in the world within like a certain time, and it's like above 8,000 feet. It's a good movie. But he was just talking about it was pretty similar, him and Mr. Beast, like chasing your passion, and even though like the money's not there and all that, like it's fulfilling and gives you life and energy. It's good for your health, even though, but it paid off for Mr. Beast eventually. But it took him ages. I think maybe like 10 years. I'm not sure exactly when he started to make money, but and even the climber, I think his name is Nim Purjo or something. But he made money, but he had to quit a successful career in the military to pursue this thing, but because he had this purpose and vision for it, it wasn't it wasn't that painful, and he could because he had a purpose for it, and so he was all driven and motivated, and so I think I feel quite proud in a way, because I've always been driven by that, pursuing rugby league first, and then that not working, and then doing the gym, and even though like financially I haven't done that well, I was like, oh man, I've lived a lot of life like doing what I want to do. Obviously there's spaces in between that you do jobs or different things that you don't want to, but on a whole I've done what I wanted to do. But it's just the financial side. But I think when I see friends and family around, it takes a toll on you doing stuff that you don't want to do, like on your health and your mindset. People become bitter and they lose energy, because early on when you're young you can sort of endure it because you have to, sort of thing, or whatever, to feed your family and stuff like that. But then over time it compounds the non-enjoyment of it, but when you do what you enjoy, maybe not financially good, but it gives you a bit of energy and it doesn't take as much life away from you and things like that, it doesn't take away. It sucks your soul. It sucks your soul, man. You know, doing things you don't want to do for so long.
I know exactly what you mean, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So even though I haven't succeeded financially, you know, being able to do for a big portion of life things that is like fun and I'm into is being good for my health. Otherwise, it's sort of been more of a recent realization that just looking around, you know, getting into close to my 40s, you start to look at life differently in there. I'm like, oh yeah, you know.
I've actually got a small family too, so
Yeah,
it's an extra thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so the marketing, you reckon, circling back, so.
No, it's all right, man. Now we can circle whenever you want. But yeah, man, like, when I want to watch that Mr. Beast, I'm always finding little gems of what it takes to, especially with social media, bro. Yeah. And he's talking about analytics. He's talking about how we grew from what he was making $1 a month or something. To millions nowadays, Like, and man, just the hours he put into it makes me like cringe. Is that what I have to do? Like, you know, like, but you know, sometimes lucky. I don't know, but for him it's hard work, and it always comes back down to hard work for a lot of things.
But you put in a lot of time into the podcasting, like overall, and it seems like you enjoy it. Do you think you found your like passion sort of thing?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I love this. I love talking to people. I love learning of people. Yeah, and it's been great. It's been like, because this is like our third year. I think third year, and it's like we just started, you know.
Well, there you go. So I guess you can relate to him, and maybe it's not as cringe. You know, maybe someone looking at you be like, man, how can he spend so much time podcasting and editing and all that, you know? But for you, it's a passion, so it's not as painful, you know, because you're into it.
Yeah, no, and you know, a lot of people like I mate Gio. He hates editing, but man, I love that part of it too.
Yeah,
just the whole graphics and design sort of thing, like putting videos together, and I find that fun. I find that real. If you think of creative things to do, like you can always look on the internet and see what other people do, but then change it up a bit. I like that kind of thing. Yeah, the whole art form.
I got
is what I love about it, and not just the physical art, but the art of how to have a conversation and just getting better at talking to people. Because it's funny, man. Because when I listen back to the old episodes of Back to 135, like, man, I'm not even listening sometimes. Sometimes I come out of the blue with a question and it's totally random.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't listening to the.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I found that because I was fact checking at the same time, and I found that really hard.
Yeah.
Because I was fact checking, I'll miss certain parts, and I'll come in and what we're up to, but I don't want to say it. You know?
Yeah.
Don't want to be rude, but yeah. So it's always a learning thing. Eh? So I'm not perfect now. Just always trying to constantly learn and be better.
Yeah. That's why they usually have. It's become more common in the podcast world where they have a producer or someone that can fact check and just sort of any questions that people have and that. It's become normal now. Like before people just like, you know, do it on their own, like everything, editing and produce, you know. But now that's sort of the level. It's going up.
Yeah, and I find because I'm starting to do a little bit of producing as well with the Down Easy Ave podcast with Avi and Eric.
Yeah.
Like that concept was like, okay, Avi and Eric, they want to do a podcast. Like, we'll do it here. I'll produce it. I won't be on it, but you guys, it's your show. You guys have your own guests. You guys bring them in. You guys talk, do whatever. It's your own show, and I'll just be the fact checker or produce it and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm enjoying that too.
The creative process of it?
Of that, and actually trying to find new ways of presenting a podcast. Like for example, the video editing for Back on 135, there's always two shots. There's the shot of the guest and a shot of the host. And it goes back and forth. Yeah. But for some reason, I think, you know, for the different shows we have on the West West Network, like if we have it in the studio, I wanted to change it up. I want to change it up. I don't want to have that same angle. Yeah. So for like Empty Out the Clip, the last Empty Out the Clip episode we had here, it's just one camera looking at the table, and that's it. Yeah. So it's a different kind of, it's not the same. And it would be cool if I have different backgrounds for different shows. But
yeah. So people can distinguish,
yeah,
like what episodes, what has a different feel,
yeah, that's right,
different,
that's right,
pace or tone, or yeah. So it's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So, That'd be cool if that happens. I mean, I'll probably get like what do you call it? Those dividers? Those
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
those
yeah,
divider
yeah,
things
yeah.
like in a room.
Yeah,
Put it up at the back and have a different background. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. The editing and stuff. I think when I do make progress, it feels really good and rewarding and like achieve something. But it's just hard to get into. But I can see what you mean. Like when you do create something or put something together that maybe you haven't, even the videos and things like that. So yeah, maybe I just feel like because I haven't been that good at it in the past, so I feel a bit inadequate. So then when I do it, I'm like, it was fun, like the end product, but the process was quite painful. It's not natural, but it does feel good at the end
Yeah.
when you turn something out and you're like, oh, that looks pretty good or it sounds good, that type of thing. So I could see from a producer's angle how it would be fun if that's your jam sort of thing.
Yeah, especially if you're doing multiple shows,
Yeah.
like distinguishing each one. Like, what can you do to do that? What can you do to make they're on the same network but different feel, different look, different hosts? I don't know, but it's funny because I got into the video just because try to get more listeners. Like, I'm not really into the video. I just felt like I had to do it to get out there, to get on YouTube, to get more exposure
Different
on different platform. But I'm really an audio guy. I really love audio. And it's funny because I know with the back of 135, I did put the whole video in YouTube, same as the podcast. But then I started to do the whole videos in the other podcasts too. But then maybe it's better then I had the idea, maybe it's better to just do clips on video, but they have the whole audio on the audio only, so people can, if they're interested in the clip, they can go check out the audio.
Yeah, my idea of the videos was always just to put the gems on it, on YouTube, and then because people were short attention span and stuff like that, so everything on YouTube would be just like the good parts or whatever, and then if they wanted to listen to the full thing, they can then find the audio. But I just haven't putting that time into doing that yet. But that would probably be that would be the goal for me, just to cut out any gems from each episode and just have those up, not the full thing. Because I don't listen or watch any podcasts on YouTube really. Like
Yeah. It's kind of weird to have YouTube on your car and
yeah
sitting on your car and going through your Bluetooth.
Yeah, like I might watch like a little part or something like that recently, but not the whole thing.
Yeah. No, you're.
I always just listen to them.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. Like maybe I just have background 5 there as a whole and the video as an option for people, but it's mainly the audio stuff.
Yeah, the video will be like, say, if it's like a link or something, like I don't know, Jordan Peterson or someone.
Yeah.
And you're saying like about a certain topic or subject that's anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. I'm like, I'll watch that, but I'm not gonna watch the whole episode. But I might listen to the whole episode in the car or when I'm doing something else.
He's coming here end of the year, September.
Is he? Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to talk about his new book. Have you read it? The Beyond.
Nah.
Beyond whatever. It's like the next 10.
Yeah.
What was his first book again?
12 Rules of Life.
12 Rules of Life. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
there's the next 12 Rules of Life.
Yeah.
No, Beyond Order.
Beyond, yeah, I heard of that. I don't know. I'm not as into like going into watching. Like I did a fair bit when I was into CrossFit, like seminars and courses and stuff like that, which I thought were pretty good, but they weren't as good as I thought in a way. Like it's sort of better to have like ongoing stuff because it's sort of like it motivates you and stuff, but then you got to go execute. So I think it's almost better to have like a mentor or someone that you catch up with like once a month or something like that. And they're like, all right, do this, and then we'll catch up in a month, and I'll see how you're going.
You're pretty big on mentors, eh?
Something like that. But man, it's just in terms of seeing Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna fix your life, you know what I mean? You'll get fired up and inspired. And,
yeah.
But if you don't take action and stuff like that, it's sort of not really.
He's sort of.
It's not the answer, I've done a few courses thinking like, oh, this is gonna help me get to the next level, but it just gave me look like a couple of little things, but at the end of the day, it's on me, I've got to go execute.
He's one guy that's sort of opened my eyes to the world and society in terms of like he always talks about political correctness and the postmodernism and where things are going with all the stuff. And I would never have known any of this until I heard him talk about it, and it sort of made me just look at the world in a lens of like what to try and avoid, like looking out for stuff that are against human nature, like what everything that's going on with trying to make things too equal and all across the board and everything, anti-competition, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, if it wasn't for him, then I wouldn't think about any of this stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely got a unique way of talking and way of putting things across, but it's at the same time seems like logical as well. Yeah. And I like his stuff because he has a lot of stuff that backs up. Oh, I don't know if it backs up, but is in line with Christianity in a way. But he doesn't really say it's good. He doesn't talk about Christianity like he believes or something like that. But he just talks about having faith and hope and all that, how good it is and to belong in all these things. How the union, marriage and all that is good things. So yeah, he has a lot of stuff that is in line with my faith and Christianity and things like that. But he doesn't say it. He sort of says it makes sense.
He's on the fence still.
Yeah, it seems I don't know where he stands exactly, but
I think he's on the fence.
He believes in the man thing and natural. I don't know. It feels like he uses a lot of common sense.
Because what I got from him with his Bible stories, because he's got lectures on the Bible.
Yeah.
And
I haven't listened to those.
He lectures on each book separately. He's got 2 hour lectures on Genesis, for instance, and I've listened to that one. I've listened to his views on the Bible, and that's given me another perspective on the Bible too. Because he talks about the Bible as these are real stories on how to live life.
Yeah,
all through the years.
Yeah, he's one of the most famous people. He doesn't bag it out like a lot of the other ones does.
Yeah.
And he's these are good things, Yeah. A lot of the other ones just bag it up.
And he uses the Bible against the political correctness.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I like him. But he doesn't say he's a Christian.
Yeah.
But then he uses it for good in a way.
Yeah. Which like you said, it makes sense. And it makes sense to me, all the things he said.
Yeah.
About these are the lessons of life that are proven because of their works.
Yeah.
And these are fundamental things, And the stories in the Bible make it so complicated, but the essence of these stories, and he's putting them out, that's what church ministers have to say. This is what church ministers talk about, in church. They break down the Bible like that and how it relates to life and how we use it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I only remember Jordan Peterson's versions of shows you how much I've been listening to church, when I was there. You know what I mean? I was like, shucks.
I took it as non-believer for the coin to drop.
No, I'm not saying I'm non-believer. I'm just saying I listen more to the Bible from Jordan Peterson than the church. Going to Sunday school. I was just a naughty kid back then, but
it's interesting because he cops a lot too, because of his views like that. He cops a lot, but it's good. He encourages me in a way to keep speaking out the truth.
Yeah.
Because these days, everyone's trying. Not everyone, but a lot of people are trying to drag you down in the words you've said in the past or whatever.
Yeah.
They're looking for something.
Yeah.
To get on you.
Oh, it's easier for people to look for something now because of social media and the internet.
Yeah.
It's just, I think as humans or society, we finally figured out that there is a dark side to social media, the internet.
Yeah.
And we just have to, I think we're slowly trying to, figure out how to separate that and just live life, with the trolls and all that stuff going on. And like you said, the truth. There's a lot of fake truth out there, fake news, and a lot of, I think there was an episode on the news. They had a segment on the news on Saturday about fake news. And a lot of people are into it because what they're seeing on TV or on social media is a proper person that's confident and he's got good vocabulary, talks great, and he says some out of it stuff and they believe it. Yeah, so there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, man, I got into this space now, social media. I've been less on it and stuff like that. I feel like there's like stages in anything. Like when I got into CrossFit, like I was like 100% all in. You know, lived and breathed it, did the courses. You know, all my friends were CrossFitters and things like that. And then over time, you start to evolve and change, and things, your interests start to shift. And I'm still into fitness, but maybe a different aspect of it. Get into business. So it's the same with like, similar to social media. Like I bought all in. I got addicted like everyone. Like I guess I am still somewhat now, but a lot less. You know, it got me. You know, with all their triggers, and I mean, it's still getting me. You know, just not as much. You know, doing what everyone else is doing. All the different platforms and different things like that. But the same thing with the CrossFit, then you start to see it for what it is. And now like I'm getting to a different stage where I can sort of see it more clearer and understand it, you know? So I haven't been that active on there more recently and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's just getting to the next stage of what it is, you know, of using it for what it's supposed to be, to, you know, to promote your brand and or your business, or, you know, celebrate victories or successes and things like that, and not you know, trying to post things because you think it's cool or perceived, you know, like that rubbish side of it. You know, sort of, oh, this is what you posted. You know, I sort of got into that a little bit, but now I'm like, you know, I guess it's just more of a maturing phase.
I think
you know?
I think you touched on a human trait. Like you're talking about community, a sense of community. If there's a sense of community within your interests, then you'll sort of you gravitate to that community and you get absorbed in it, right?
Yeah,
and then
if it's yeah.
In the beginning, or your
yeah.
interest to you know to satisfy all your interests and stuff, and then as time goes by, like you said, you might see things that might interest you in the other aspects of that thing, and you slowly take off in your own direction. Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't brood well with the rest of the group, and what's this guy doing?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, just see things differently, and I'm trying to like wean myself off it, and like just use it for what it's properly. And because I like my kids, you know, they watch YouTube and stuff like that more than I want, so I'm like, I've got to start getting myself off it if I want them to get off it as well, you know. So I'm trying to like get them and me as well, you know. So eventually we're just using it to communicate and promote stuff, basically. You know, the proper use, like you know, like Tony from Digital Discipline, like he uses it but sparingly, right? And it's just to promote books and good conversation, you know, that sort of stuff.
That guy's making moves now, eh?
Yeah,
I've been watching his.
But yeah, he uses it for the right reasons now, you know. But he was in there as well. He was deep in the hole, you know, addicted and all of that, like a lot of us. But now he uses it for the right, you know, the right reasons and the right way.
I see him doing some interviews now on Instagram. It's pretty interesting. I think I missed one. I wanted to have a listen, but I saw he got he's got one of the Pacifica players to join him on digital. His
part of his team.
Yeah.
No, he's doing some awesome stuff, eh? Yeah.
And his books too.
What about you, man? Like with the social media thing, like how? Because you seem like you're not like fully into it. You just do it because, you know, to promote the podcast and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was never. Oh man,
you were never really like fully into it.
I mean, I was when I was single, and
yeah,
when I was single,
swiping right.
I was using social media to show off my my Saturday nights, Friday nights, and that. But then after, I remember I cut it off. I went dark.
Yeah.
I went dark, and I just logged off and I didn't log back on. And I felt the difference. There was a big difference. I wasn't looking at my phone much at all, actually. So it was good. It was a good period. 2 years, and then when we started the podcast, that's when I knew I had to jump back on social media. Yeah. So, I jumped back on social media, but I just strictly used it for the podcast and for what we're going to talk about on the podcast. So I never put any private photos or, you know, family photos in there. I just put Manny Siegel's one or the Blues one. Or, or
things you're interested in.
Yeah, just my interests and stuff. Didn't want to use it for anything else. But it was mostly to promote the podcast and all that. But I find that's a good tool for that.
Yeah. I started to use the thing on Instagram where it warns you like how long you've been on it.
Oh really?
So I set it at 45 minutes. I was like how much time. I was trying to toss up like an hour, 2 hours. What is it like? What? And I was like, oh, okay. So before we used to come home and watch TV and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, I usually watch like a couple of programs or something like that, hour and a half, something like that. Watch Simpsons, I don't know, Neighbours and Home and Away or something like that. Well, this like hour and a half. So I was like, oh, if I give myself 45 minutes a day, it's probably similar, like, but then, don't go beyond that. And so it's been pretty good. I've gone beyond it a little bit a few times because it gives you like a warning, like you'll reach your thing of 45 minutes and then you just press OK and you carry on. But it's genuinely, it's been a really good reminder. I'm like, it sort of snaps me out of it.
Yeah.
So that's been a good tool that I started to use. I just went on YouTube and I was like, how do you set a thing in that, and then figured it out. Because I don't really go on Facebook, only like the aunties and uncles and stuff like that. They usually post on there. So I'll see what they're up to or any updates and stuff like that. And I haven't used the other ones too much recently. So that's been a good thing, doing that.
When I jumped back on social media, especially on Facebook, to do the podcast, I created a new account. And then my old account, I just deleted all the friends. And just left the family. Yeah. I just left my mum's family and my dad's family, my sisters and that. I just left that on that account, and then I just used it just for family stuff. And then I do post family stuff on that account because we got family
I post
around the world
stuff on my own one too.
Yeah. So they can see, because they want to see my parents.
See what you're up to and stuff like that.
And plus my parents too, because man, if we have like a lunch or we go out to breakfast with mum and dad, like I always video and I put it on the family, so my auntie in Hawaii can see, and everyone in Samoa can see, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty good because everyone reacts. Oh, there's auntie, how is she? And blah blah blah. I love to see her and all that, and it makes me feel good too. That's good. Yeah,
there was another point that I can't remember which podcast, but it was something about like your kids, even posting stuff on your kids. Like he was saying some convicting stuff to me. It's like, did your kids give you permission to do that? Like, even though your kids are like, do they want that? You putting little funny videos of them. And I was like, oh yeah, true. Like, maybe they don't want me to do that, and that's going to be on there forever, and you can dig it up when they're older and stuff like that. So I'm trying to be more conscious of like videos and pictures I put up of them as well,
Yeah.
Because they don't really have a say.
Oh yeah.
At the moment. Until older, they can probably be like, oh, Dad, I don't want that, stuff like that. So I was like, oh yeah. So trying to think about all that sort of stuff as well. Because, man, I listened to my cousin recommended the Matthew Walker podcast, Joe Rogan. It was about sleep and benefits of sleep and things like that. And because generally, like, they have people talk about like training, sleep, and nutrition, like they sort of are equal in a way, as of importance. But sleep's like the foundation. Then it's, your training, your nutrition, and all these other things that can help. But the sleep has to be right. And like, I live with my brother and his kids and stuff like, and they have like their phones on late at night, and it's just quite common, right? But it's stuff so people sleep in that, and and I can see why kids, even the kids I work with at school, are underachieving, because they're not sleeping right, they're not eating right. Like, there's so many different things that are stuffing up, And so, I'm just trying to get switched on with it so I can, not let my kids do the same mistakes. And even myself, like, I've been more switched on with it. Like, I get to bed about 9:30, between 9:30 and 10:30 every night, and having that routine. So I wake up at 5 every day, or between 5 and 6:30. You have to have leniency because life happens, So I've got an hour in the night, a window, 9:30 to 10:30. And then in the morning, it's 5, like, because if I train, and then if I don't train, I wake up about 6:30. And then on the weekends, I might sleep in, 7:30, 8 or something like that. But Monday to Friday, and he was talking about routine, and because when we keep, one of the key things that stood out with me is like when we don't sleep, we have like this, that fog, you get that fog in your head and stuff like that. And when you sleep, it helps clear that out. But when you don't, it just sort of compounds, and then it can eventually turn into Alzheimer's and different things. So, like, I'm trying to get all my habits and set an example so when the kids get through, because I want them to be freaks, trying to get my champions ready, you know what I mean?
I saw your post. I think I saw a post of yours referring to King Richard. The
movie. Yeah.
Because you and your wife went to watch it there.
Yeah,
The movie there.
yeah, man, it was awesome, man. Loved it, there. Loved it. Yeah, so we're trying to get our kids ready for Stanford, man. Stanford, that's our school. If you're listening, scholarship. They're there in the. I think they're in the Final Four as well. They won it last year, so because what's his name, Lieberman. I think he's like a brain guy. Yeah, he's a neurologist and stuff like that. He works at Stanford, but he's on a lot of podcasts and stuff. And he's like the man for like brain and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And like, so if they went to Stanford, that could be one of your lecturers. That's crazy. You know what I mean? These like people who are like top of the field. And so you could just be like, oh, so what's this and that, and that's just one teacher. So like, oh, man, I want them to be in that environment of like top of the field for your teachers. And there's another guy. He's the Phoenix Suns strength and conditioning coach now, but he started as a strength and conditioning coach at Stanford as well. So you're getting the top teachers and coaches there, and so you're going to get great education as well as athletic. So I don't know. That's what I'm leaning towards, man. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But why not? King Richard did it, so worked out. Those straight A's and stuff like that. So best in the world, and so we'll try to shoot for that. Yeah.
The thing, I watched the movie too, and I thought it was great to see, because I didn't know the story about the dad, Serena and Venus's dad, and how they got really good. But talk about like where they're from and beating all the odds, eh? Yeah. Like a game of tennis and two black girls from Compton, and they're the champions. They become champions like from Compton. How does that happen? When you first think of it. Yeah. So it was good to see that movie and see how hard their father was. Mm. Yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah, like his plan, and everything was it like 57 pages and. And so
there's a fine line between like parents who like that versus King Richard versus Lamar.
You don't like Lamar?
Lamar Ball.
I like him, man.
Lamar Ball, who talks his way.
No, because I heard of Lamar before I seen his stuff, and like everybody like made him out like he was a jerk, But when I watch the stuff, he's just telling the kids the truth. Like, because I was watching him on video and like. I think it was LaMelo, they saw someone and then he said something like cheeky, like about a lady and like booty or something like that. And he looked at him and he's like, he pulls him in line. And I think it's good, man, because all the people around his kids are yes men, yes people, They'll kiss his son's ass. So I think he's like the one, like, and I think they know it. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, dad, like, he just loves us. He's just trying to keep our feet on the ground and stuff like that. So I think he talks a bit of crap, but I can sort of see through it. That, it's just a part of the show,
It's just smokescreen.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, man, he's just all in for his kids, and it's paid off.
And then there's the people, like you hear it, like parents shouldn't force their kids to it's not their dream, it's your dream. Yeah. But I don't know how to say, for instance, your father, right? And your two kids, and they're like 5 years old, and you say to yourself, okay, you two are going to be the number one basketball or the number one golf players in the whole world when you're older, and I'm going to make sure of that. Yeah. Like, how do you make that decision?
I think there's just genetics. Like me and my family, we're more like. We're mostly not going to be speed people. So, if you're Jamaican or something like that, you come from that area where Bolt and all those other runners from, you could probably say, like, you could be a runner. You know what I mean? But, like, our genetics, we're most likely going to be league rugby players, like power athletes, because that's what we've produced. So, for me to say to my daughter, like, it's maybe possible, like, you could be a sprinter, but most likely not. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, I have an educated guess.
Yeah, like, there's got to be, you got to consider height, weight, like the fast twitch, slow twitch. What your family skills were and stuff like that, I think if if both your parents were swimmers, and there's a likelihood that your kid could be a swimmer, or maybe not a swimmer, but like a what's it called, water polo, or something like that. I think there's a thing like their dream, your dream versus their dream. Like if they're gravitating towards something, and you're like, nah, you're gonna do this. I think that's when it's bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if they say like, I want to do this, and they're gonna go all in, then then that's all good.
Or do it before they gravitate.
But like, you know, no kids know what they want to. They don't know anything, you know. So I think it's good for you to push them in a direction, and then if they find something along the way, then encourage that and support that all the way as well. But I think at the start you got to give them something, because otherwise they'll do nothing, you know, and they don't know. They think they know, but they don't. You know, I feel like at 35, I'm only just starting to understand things now, you know, a little bit. You know, I think, you know, in your 20s you'll feel boko and stuff like that, but I feel like more now, like I feel like I know, you know, like, I don't know, you don't really know. So I think parents need to encourage them into things. But if you can see that they're, you know, it's not on your family genetics, they're not really doing that well, like quickly, you know, it's probably not the right sport or music or, you know, whatever it is.
I think it's going to be harder for you, because your wife's academic and you're sporty.
Yeah.
So which genes is your kids got? You know, which is dominant?
Oh, no. My wife is quite athletic naturally, but it wasn't like encouraged. So we play like touch and stuff like that. I think because her family is pretty athletic, but they were more focused on education. So I think if their parents did push it, they probably could have. Like Lenny, he's doing well in the league. He's one of the top props in Auckland. So yeah, I think it's more the environment, and if you sort of believe in them and all that. And so like they did well in education, because that's what they were encouraged. So I think if you give them the environment, opportunity, encouragement, then it's possible, sort of thing. Yeah. But yes, like all our family's pretty competitive in that, so I think that'll be good, because a lot of people aren't competitive these days, you know, because it's the anti-competing sort of thing. But when we just have our general family talks and, you know, Christmas and New Year's and all that sort of stuff, they'll be surrounded by that. So that's what I want. Because if you're the only competitive one in your group, then you've got an edge already, you know.
Yeah.
So if everyone's sort of holding back a little bit and you're not, then, you know, you excel and you get a little jump, a little lead, which will turn into a big lead later on. Basically, yeah.
I remember last time you were here, you talked about strength and conditioning, and that's one of your main interests, huh?
Yeah.
Well, and you still at Avondale College?
Yeah.
Are you doing some of that strength and conditioning coaching for the kids there and stuff?
Yeah, it's good catch up, because I did the basketball the last 2 years, and then I put a proposal together to take the it's not really out there, but to take the girls, because the boys are already looked after and stuff like that. So, maybe I'll take the girls, because I've coached the juniors, so I'll try to take them through. But the director was saying that the rugby needs more help. And my good friend, JB, he got asked to coach the first 15, and then he said, do you want to be the trainer? Can you be our trainer? So it's like, I asked the director, what do you reckon? And she's like, the rugby needs more help, sort of thing. It's been struggling for quite a while. And I was like, yeah, I trust JB, you know, I know him, he's a good friend and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I sort of believe, like, we're both really competitive, and I think we're on the same buzz, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to do that instead of the basketball. And so, yeah, we did off-season. It was tough, man. It's been tough, to be honest, like, because being
the strength and conditioning coach for the rugby team, the first 15.
Yeah. Like, he's been awesome. He's got a good vision, good plan for the team and the staff, and he's recruited well. We start, like, as soon as I got in, it was like, we got to start training now, because I see the guys around school, they're out of shape, they're not, like, their head's not right and things like that. And I know a big part of it is just through sort of training and culture and things like that, making it normal. So, like, them missing training and all that is normal to them. So trying to create habits where being active and all that is normal. You know, it's sort of the opposite of where their head's at now. And so we're going to get in like 4 to 6 guys of training, man. I think it was around November last year. Yeah, 4 to 6, sometimes 8, sometimes 10. So we trained, like, I think it was November, December. Obviously, we missed, like, Christmas and New Year's, but either side of those things, we trained. But there was only a handful of us, but we invited everyone.
And the kids came?
About 4 or 6. And then I just, my nephews, 3 of them, they came along as well. But they're not part of Avondale, because I was training them, yeah. And then I think it started getting like 8, 10. It's like January and stuff like that. But all the good schools are training through. You know, like St. Gainz, Mags, you know, they're doing stuff all the way through. Maybe they're playing tag. They're not just chilling. You know, you got to be active all year round, playing. Even if it's just playing a sport, you know, you got to be active all year round, developing your agility, your speed. You know, you're having fun as well. Playing, even to play basketball, just anything. Just don't do nothing. You know? Yeah. So if they're not doing any sport, then you got to be in the gym or something like that. You know. So the gym, if they're doing a sport, I'm all good because some of the boys play volleyball, and I'm like, cool. You know, you don't have to come. But the guys that don't have a sport, they need to be training. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I think they're gonna do, because they're doing nothing, man. They're kids. You know. What do they? They don't have to work. They don't really. They think they have pressure, but they don't really. You know, they sleep a lot. They have a lot of holidays, so they need to train and stuff like that. You know.
you know these kids that came during the holidays to train for you from school.
Yeah.
Man, when I think about it, these kids that did that, is this because they got nothing better to do, or they just got the fire in their eyes that they want to make it? Because you know they talk about doing extra.
Yeah.
And this is doing extra, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. The ones that come, they obviously want it. You know. They want it. But then, like, you know, as I said, the good schools, rugby and league and basketball or whatever, that's normal to them. That's because of the environment. So if you're like a, you know, third form or year 9, you come into it, 10, 11, 12, you go to play for the team. Oh, they're training. Oh, that's what I do. Because it's normal. But at our school, it's not normal yet. So this time next year,
we're trying to make it.
There should be 20 guys, not 5. You know what I mean? Yeah. It should be normal that if they're not playing in the sport somewhere, like everybody should be doing something to get better. Yeah.
Is that there in the first division?
No, we're in the 1B. We're in the 1B.
Oh, yep.
But yeah, sorry, just building off there from 4 to 6 guys up to 8 to 10, maybe around January, something like that. Then now the last training we had 34. Oh, yeah. So it's slowly building up. And then we had a trial yesterday, which went really well. Really well. And so yeah, I mainly do like the warm-ups and some of the fitness stuff. And then JB's the head coach. And then we got Peter Hitter, who's like backs coach. And Dominic Marlow is the other backs coach as well. And then he gets in some of his mates. So we had Census Johnson and his mate Alex. They come in their props because JB and Peter were halfbacks. They want to get some forwards in, you know, like specialized for our props and stuff like that. So we're creating a legit like program, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we've got
a coaching staff.
Yeah. We've got a manager. It's one of the halfback stat, which is he's the man. Like he's drummed up a lot of support for us, funding, and the boys did a thing at Bunnings. Bunnings, a barbecue. You know, the sausage sizzle. Get some money, and JB's planned a camp for us. So a bonding camp. So it's in the second week of the holidays. So we're just to build our culture, set our goals, and we have to become brothers. You know what I mean? Get real tight. So yeah, I'm really excited for that because we got like different groups. You know, the naughty boys, and then the guys who are dedicated, and then the guys who are lazy. You know, like so we've got a mixture of different guys. So we've got to all become one type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so they had a tag tournament. I didn't go, but they played recently. And there was a mixed group, and yeah, JB and Pete were saying that they really bonded and connected, you know, because so now they're starting to bond, you know what I mean? And because we're training together, but in previous years they didn't have that, you know, like they would sort of just pick a team like the last few weeks out before the season, and so they didn't have that bond, you know what I mean? And then they expect to do well. It's like, bro, I don't know, these guys are crazy, thinking you're gonna rock up like 2 or 3 weeks out from the season and turn it on, you know what I mean? When like all the good schools, you know, 4 months or whatever preparation, you know, like to me that's normal. You know, if you want to be successful, you don't even have a choice. Like what I tell them, I'm like, we got to run. I'm not trying to punish you. This is just what we have to do. You know what I mean? It's not a punishment. Like we have to be fit. We don't have a choice. You know, we're not that talented. Like we got talent, but no, we don't have any freaks. Like I've seen freaks, you know. Of nature where you can sort of build like a national championship team. Like you see those guys every now and again, but we don't have that. No, we got good players, We've got some talent, but no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have any LeBron James type of guys that can carry it.
No X factors.
Yeah. So we have to train hard. Like we don't have a choice. You know, we have to be. You know, but I'm excited, man. Like I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's cool, man. My wife's supporting me with it because it's a lot of times Tuesday, Thursdays, some Saturdays. Yeah, it's a lot of time and stuff like that. I think we even have a meeting tonight as well, a little bit on Zoom. Not a long one, but we're trying to constantly communicate, just build the program, and you know, obviously, because we're all Christians, like JB, they St. Peter's boys, Dom, and so obviously it's like a thing for us to mentor the kids and, you know, give them some direction, and, you know, it's more than just rugby type of thing. Like teach them to work hard and to give your best and stuff like that. That'll transfer to your studies or whatever work you get in towards afterwards. And we want them to look back and learn a lot of lessons and say, like, man, these are the highlights of our years, you know, at school. And they get together as mates and maybe they have a few beers and stuff like that. And, you know, they can reminisce on those days, you know, and maybe make a few jokes of us and our little sayings and things like that.
I feel like that gets lost. You know how you said, you know, transfers over to their life skills and studying that. I feel like that gets lost a little bit. Well, it's good to hear.
Well, it gets.
It's good to be reminded of it.
Yeah, it gets lost in terms of what, the people don't teach it, or
no, because you're always competitive. Like I'm competitive when it comes to my teams I support. You know, you just want to you want to crush the other team, and that's the only thing. Like you better play well, otherwise. Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna hate you forever. And like,
no, it's different.
But that's not the point.
No, it's different now. Like, because I did basketball the last few years and then rugby. There's a new thing, man, in like teens and stuff like that. They don't go hard. Like there's usually like maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 kids that play really hard, and then the others go like 3/4, because they don't like to be seen like sweating hard or like showing like facials or being like the hard out guy. It's weird, man.
Hey.
It's weird. No, that's common.
Oh.
And like they don't like from the jump. A lot of teams start slow because they don't want to be like boom, like straight into it, like intense. You know, it's weird, but that's common. Because I couldn't figure it out like when I first started. But
because that wasn't around when we were
that
AJ.
No, but then I talked to other coaches and they're saying they're having the same problems. Because I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? Like I can't get these guys going. But it's normal. Like you usually only have like 1 to 3 guys, but I think some of the the more experienced like top coaches, they know how to do that, because you have to sit there as the coach, like Lindsay Tate and them. Like I don't know him personally, but a lot of the guys that come into his program, they know from the jump you got to go hard, because that's what they've always done, you know. So if you don't like that, they probably won't make it there. Like they'll leave, or So that's. But a lot of the environments are like the PC thing, like so it's like everything's okay, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's accepted. So now I know how it is now, but I haven't quite figured out how to get them to go hard. You know what I mean? Like they have it in them, but they don't want to show like.
Well, it comes down to incentive, right? Like you say, you're gonna get cut if you don't play hard. You're gonna get that kind of thing. Yeah,
I think that's where we want to get to, but because we only have like little numbers to begin with, in the past few years there's only been. But when you have like 40 guys at training, then that's when you can do that. So we've got to build the program up so it's more like I really want to get in that team.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that aura yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
that's
like,
what you got to build first.
Yeah. So they're like the top schools have that, because everybody wants to play first 15. Because the history, like my uncle used to play or my dad used to play, and like, my brother was in that team. I really want to get in there, and so you'll turn up. You have to. Because you're going to get cut.
These big schools have trials there. Because so many kids want to be in there.
Yeah, it's big, man. It's very important, yeah.
Whereas Avondale, not so much, eh?
No,
you can't really trial because there's only 15 guys coming.
When we had trials this year, which was the first time in ages, apparently.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know when the last time was.
Uh-huh.
So this was pretty big yesterday. It was a big achievement. And it went really well. Yeah, shout out to all the suburbs people that put it on for us as well. They helped out. They were really gracious as well. Fed us and the boys. Refereed and stuff like that.
It sounds like the coaching staff for Avondale First 15, they got a lot of connections there around the rugby community, so jumping in to help out. Yeah,
JB's the man. He played Ponsonby and then he played Eden. They won it last year. So him and Pete, the other coach. So he'll coach us with us the the backs and seconds. So we got to have people like bringing in through the young guys as well. But yeah, they played at Eden's, and they've been around. Pete was from Hastings, so they've always got a good program down there, and St. Peter's always good. They're always sort of middle of the road and up. Top 4, top 5 type of team. And Dom as well. He played first 15, so they have all friends they played with and against over the years and stuff like that. So yeah, they got connections and yeah, they're using them to. And they've learned from their teams that they've played in. They take like things that worked, the things that didn't, things they liked, things that and they're bringing in stuff that they've learned to the environment. But no, it's good because he's real open. Like if me or one of the other coaches have an idea or something that we want to bring in, then he's like, oh, you consider it, that type of thing. It's not the dictator style. The Russian dictator style sort of thing, So everybody can have a say. If they have an idea, of something, that's really
Even
cool.
you can say something.
No, they always ask, all of us. I speak a lot because, I've done a bit of coaching and stuff like that. But, also at the end of the day, like when I was coaching, you just want people to help you and support you and stuff, but you make the call at the end of the day. So I understand, I respect it. So at the end of the day, it's his team. So he makes the call, but I can suggest. But I'm not butthurt if he says no. Like, my role is to get the guys fit, warm them up, look after them, that type of thing. So I understand my role within the team, and it's all good. Yeah.
Does Avondale have a league team?
I think we're having a meeting about that soon. There's a lot of good league players there, actually. Probably more than the rugby players.
Oh, okay.
And we're trying to steal them.
Oh, for rugby, yeah.
They're really good. Really good league players, yeah. So that's the predicament because they're not supposed to play both.
As a league guy, how do you feel about that?
Like Zaya, my nephew, he played both. I don't think he played the season, but he played nationals because just the timing worked. I think if it works schedule wise and that, it should be allowed. But if it's obviously it's the same exact time, then you got to choose. You know what I mean? But if the games don't clash and stuff, then I don't see why not.
I remember.
But yeah.
We're the guy at work. It doesn't work for us, but he works. Oh, he doesn't work in our office, but he works. He's another consultant, but we work with him a lot. He used to be the coach for St. Peter's League team, and he was frustrated because they always still stole his players.
All right, yeah.
And the headmaster told him, "Oh, you're not allowed to touch this guy. He's playing first 15."
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So he was like, because he's a big league guy.
Yeah.
And he was like just frustrated and.
Yeah, it's a pretty political thing, like that type of thing. Yeah, So I think our director is pretty good because she's like trying to get a meeting so we can all get along and sort of pick the teams and yeah. But now there's definitely a lot of good league players there. Definitely a lot of good league talent. I think if they had similar to what we have in the rugby in terms of like the coaching and support and that we got this year, they could probably kill it, in a few years. But like, because we're all volunteers,
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe one guy gets paid or something like that, the main coach, but then everyone else is volunteers. So it's a lot of time, a lot of effort for whoever's going to do it. So that's the hard thing because there is a lot of good people, but they're usually wanted in a few different places. So how can you sort of lure them in and what's the benefit for them and all that type of thing?
Yeah. Because I could imagine like the top Auckland schools, they got hard out coaching staff, like the Blues coaching staff there.
Yeah.
That caliber.
Yeah.
All of them have them.
Professional,
Semi-professional. Yeah. Then I think that's what you guys are trying to achieve. Try to make your way to the first division.
Yeah. Well, the team was 2-8 last year. We're gonna get together and make some goals together collectively. But right now, like just off my head, like I'm thinking, if there's 10 games, 5-5. I don't know. But I don't know.
Being realistic.
I don't know. Maybe we could win it all. Because I didn't really follow it too closely last year because I was involved with the basketball. But looking back over the past years, I think they've only had like one winning season. When I say one winning season, that means like over 50%. Like I think they've only had one in the last 6 or 7 years. So to go like 5-5 or 6-5, that's a winning season. But I don't know if I'm under shooting, but that's just what I see at the moment. things could change, and I don't know what the team's goals are. But 2-8, that's pretty bad. You know, I don't know if we could just go straight to winning it. Maybe we'll see. But to me, it doesn't look good enough yet. Like what I see, you know what I mean? It's good. It's like way better and it's improving. Like we're heading in the right direction. But it doesn't look, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about what I said before about league taking the back foot of these rugby schools.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just hearing you about how Avondale's building up a coaching staff for their first 15 makes me wonder, because St. Paul's is known for league. They probably have the same sort of coaching team, or something like that, because that's why they're on top all the time. That's why they're known as a league school.
Yeah.
One of the few league schools in Auckland that, you know, seems like to me make league the number one sport in their school.
Oh, yeah, because they got a lot of old boys and a lot of prestige and tradition and stuff like that. So, you know, when the guys come in, they're expected to work hard and to win and, you know, do whatever it takes. So, yeah, they got all the guys. They're quite proud, the old boys and that, and coaches and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, just to get one thing clear with the Avondale, the rugby thing, we're doing it off our own back. Like, the school's supporting us now, but we started it ourselves. You know what I mean? like JB started it, and then he recruited me, and then the other guy, like his mate, Dom, but we weren't recruited from the school. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So like a lot of the successes from the school has been from individuals that went out and did things. You know what I mean? They weren't like, say if you were the on the board or something like that, you weren't like going, oh, get JB, get this guy. You know, it wasn't headhunted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, we're just doing it because we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
You know? And now we're starting to get some support that they can see it's a good thing and we mean well for the kids and the school and that type of thing, you know?
So when's the first preseason game?
We're trying to organise one. I think it's not confirmed yet. It's not
Okay.
confirmed yet. But
When the season start?
I think it's like May or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. May, yeah. After the holidays. I think it's week 2 after the school holidays, which is in maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So we're trying to get one trial game. Well, maybe 2, but at least one. At least one. So no, it's fun, man. It's like, you know, Mr. Beast and it's the passion, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but I'm in like class, which I enjoy, but I'm thinking about like training and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm thinking about the warm-ups and like stuff like that. Oh, we do like a little bit of gym on Monday and Wednesdays at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, Thursdays on the field, so I do that stuff. But I don't get many guys to the gym. I get like maybe 4 or 5 guys sometimes, but I don't mind, like, because I love teaching it anyway. But there's some guys there that need to be there, but they don't come, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, like, you can't really force them, you know? But I'd like to, but you can't do that. So I just, whoever comes, I train them, like 4 or 5 guys usually, something like that.
You know, talk about coaching. Like, I remember I put up a post because I've been watching the March Madness, the NCAA basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my post I put up about, because did you follow the St. Peter's University?
Only from your posts.
Ah,
nah,
yeah,
but I didn't follow them there.
Man, because it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because they made it all the way to the Elite 8, and no 15 seed has ever done that.
Yeah.
To the first school. And I looked up the salaries of the coach, and he gets like 200K. 200K a year.
Yeah.
The coach for St. Peter's. But I looked at all the teams that he beat. They beat Kentucky in round 1.
They'll be on big dollars, eh?
Calipari.
Yeah.
He gets $3 million
A year?
a year.
Yeah.
Shucks. And the next guy said, I think it was Murray State University. He gets like 2.1 million a year.
Murray State?
Yeah.
That's not even a big school, is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
But he gets 2.1, and the last school, Purdue, he gets like 2.5 or something.
Purdue's pretty big,
Yeah, 2.5 million, and here's St. Peter's, their coach, he gets only 200K.
Yeah. I guess like, because, you know, you watched the Calipari documentary, eh?
Yeah. So
I mean, he earned it though, you know, because he played like at the lower schools as well, and then he got his payday. But you know, he had to get the results. So I guess that St. Peter's guy might get his his payday, in the next few years if he keeps turning
he got a new
out
job.
results. Oh, there you go.
He
Already.
got a new job. Yeah.
He got his payday.
I don't know how much he got, but I saw like news thing. He got a new job at another school.
Right,
Yeah, I think it was Seton Hall.
Yeah.
Don't know how big that school is. But Kentucky, yeah, they produced a lot of NBA players.
I think he's the most successful, Calipari. But
In
you
terms
know,
of taking, was he successful taking kids to NBA
yeah.
from his school?
But they bag him out because they don't want it.
Oh yeah.
But because he doesn't try to keep them, he tries to get them to the NBA and
Oh yeah.
and get their payday.
Oh, that's what it's about. That's
Yeah,
what their
yeah.
documentary is about.
Yeah.
I remember now.
But the NCAA don't like him,
Mm.
or some of them. Well, I reckon he's the man
Yeah, he's the man.
because all the kids love him too.
Yeah.
Because he's like out for their well-being, not the NCAA, and the school and stuff. He's 100% for the kids, and yeah, man. He's a big inspiration into why I'm doing what I'm doing as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that documentary. It got me fired up. Just try to help kids get to, get their thing, man. Use their use their talent and get to where they want to be. Have some mad life experiences. Yeah, go to the next level type of thing.
Rugby in New Zealand, that's a sport that does that for a lot of people. Like, it's the community of it and the camaraderie after the game, the old have a beer after the game thing. It's a, it's a real thing. All the friendships you make, chance to go around the world, to play for clubs around the world and meeting new people there, and just the whole network thing. It's huge,
Yeah. That's why I'm like pushing I want to push my kids so hard at sports, because you don't get that from work. I don't know, the working man to me is a sucker, like, bro, like I never made it, but I played like pretty decent level and stuff like that, and like, man, it's so much fun, and it's like way more fun than work, and if you can get paid, get it to that level, then that's it, your friends, you're battling away, you're getting paid, you're traveling the world, then at the end of it, you made all these connections with like millionaires and like business owners and stuff like that, and broadcasters, so you got like all these people you can call up,
and you got these potential opportunities, all the time,
and so that's why I'm so big on like, not the main reason, but a part of it. You can live like an extraordinary life, by being really good at something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, man,
and it's like fun, like. Maybe not like 100% fun because you got to train hard and stuff like that. But if they enjoy playing the game and stuff.
Yeah, what makes me happy about those kind of stories is how sport takes you places. I mean that, like you're right, man. I never thought of it like that. Work. You go to work and it's only you and your workmates. You come home and it's you and your family. Go and you and your workmates, and that's it.
Yeah. And you go out for like beer or dinner and stuff like that. But these guys are in France and stuff, and they're getting their like their lunches and like dinners and that sometimes for free. It's paid for by the team,
Yeah.
And you go out to dinner and your work might pay for it sometimes, You go to the like local areas in your workplace, which is still nice, but you don't go like. Go play in Jordan, in Egypt and things like that you do in sports and stuff like that, or even not even sports, but just being like maybe like a performer, music or art, or, that you can take your stuff. I just want them to excel in something that they can live an extraordinary life, like not an average life,
Yeah, doing something different every day, or going out there, because like
the craft can take you somewhere,
Yeah. Because it's funny when you hear kids play the piano or play the guitar.
It's beautiful,
It's I think don't do that, but really, you don't know where it'll take you in the future, man. You might be playing part time with the band.
Yeah,
at least it's something, something cool,
Yeah. I reckon it's cool, man, when kids go play. That's bad.
Yeah.
Now, like with my kids, I'm going against the normal school system as well. Like I want them to do well in like English and maths and stuff. It's more my wife probably want them to push that way, but I'm going like with the opposite. Like I want them to do well in art, music, and language, which is the ones that sort of seen as less important. But like if you can speak like language, man, that opens up so many doors. If you can do like art with your hands now, especially when technology is so big, you're going to become like a rare commodity, And then if you can do what was the other one? Art, music. Like that's like another language, you know, that you can fit in anywhere in the world, even if you can't speak the same language, you can fit into a band or, you know, that type of thing. And
If you play like out of an instrument, like a violin or a flute,
yeah.
like think of how many orchestras you can
Yeah.
work at around the world, eh? You know?
Yeah, so like to me, all those things are going to open up more doors than being good at maths, you know what I mean? Or that type of thing. Yeah.
You know, I'd love to play in the orchestra. Eh? I like to play in those orchestras.
I never picked that.
I would, but I want to play in those orchestras that does the soundtracks to movies.
Yeah, those are bad. Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are me,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
I'll be in those.
Yeah, but they build the drama in that, eh? Yeah.
Even if it's like a triangle, I'll hit the triangle. Like,
The best you can.
tell me when to hit the triangle, I'll hit it, bro.
No, I like those guys because they're real professional, you know.
Mm.
They're real like perfectionist sort of thing.
You know, it's funny. You know what I've been thinking about lately? What was the best job I could have had when I was younger? You know, like
You've been
from
pondering
now.
that?
I've been pondering that,
Yeah.
man. I mean, like, okay, it would be cool to work from home. Maybe I should have done IT because that allows you to work from home. But what would you give up? You'll probably deal with angry people all the time. You know, I want. You know what? I wouldn't even do my job. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do my job. So cut that out. Would I go to? Because I'm thinking about what lifestyle do I want to live, and picking the right job determines that, right? And because times were different back then, when we were choosing jobs or choosing our professions when we were going to school, times are different. So it probably won't be adequate now. What we chose. So.
Right, I was going to say,
You
it's
know?
changed, eh?
Yeah, it's changed.
Yeah.
It's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, this podcasting is a passion. Like, could have been like radio or something like that, eh? Or radio producer. You know, because that would have been like an easy transition into this.
Yeah.
Like when
Maybe
it
producer.
became like a real life thing.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't back then. But then like 5 years, 10, like, podcasting is a thing. And he's like, oh, I already know how to do half of that. You know?
But
You're already ready.
maybe a producer, but I wouldn't be on the radio.
All right, yeah. Or something to do with radio, eh?
You know what I love about podcasts? Really, it's the system.
Yeah.
It's go against what radio is for everybody. No, it's you can say whatever you want.
Oh, it's changing. It's changing. I think it was. Now it's like they're listening out sort of thing more now. Yeah. I mean, it's still way more, but it's heading that way. Do you reckon or not?
I reckon if you get to a certain number,
Yeah.
if you get to a certain popularity, if
right,
you get
yeah.
like Joe Rogan, he's starting to get attacked.
He's
from
getting
the things
attacked a
he
lot,
said.
eh? He's getting
That's
attacked
because he's up there
Yeah.
with the numbers. He's
But
you
like
know.
us, we're all good, eh?
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah. Not many people, yeah.
So we're right. We say when we're wrong, but it's funny because I don't know if you know Andrew Schultz. He's a comedian.
I've heard of him. Nah, I don't know.
He said
I've heard
something
the name,
interesting
but no.
because they asked him a question about, oh man, how come the jokes you do are how you do it, like, because he said, oh man, I'm anti-system. The jokes I do is from what I think. Like I don't care what anyone says, and because of that, they won't let me go on radio. They won't let me go in the mainstream, and I don't want that because otherwise they'll censor me. I don't want that, so I want to build my own. It's all about the followers for me. It's not about what the mainstream says what is good or not. You know, so I found that pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I've always had that anti-system or whatever in me from pretty much birth. I never liked the traditional way of doing things. Like, yeah, I don't know why I've been skeptical. It's just been in me. Like even just what I was saying with like music, art, and what was the other language? That's the opposite. Yeah. And even like with the school, we're coming in with the rugby thing. I was like, we got to do everything the opposite of what you've been doing. You aren't dedicated. We're going to be dedicated. I always think, yeah, it's got to be the opposite sort of thing.
Because that's the thing that gets attention.
Yeah.
When things...
It just seems to make sense to me.
Yeah, because it will get attention. And it will make people open their ears because, hey, this is different.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
It gets that interest, eh?
Yeah, because I think like people just follow a lot of stuff blindly.
Too conservative?
No, like they're just sheep. They don't really think or question things for themselves. Like, I don't know about you. Have you noticed like at work and different places, like people say a lot of things, but I don't really agree with them. But I don't really care, like, because everybody has their opinion. But like, if I was to say my thing, I would get attacked. But I don't like mind them not agreeing with me. So yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't fit in. You know?
But if you think about it, whoever attacks you, it could be a number, right? It doesn't relate to anything anyway, because it's just a number. Like, it doesn't say anything about the other numbers that agree with you. That don't say anything. But the only reason why we're looking at the negative is because that's the ones that have shouted out to us. You know, we don't think about the other side. Like, you know, like, for example, what's his name? Falau. Israel Falau.
Yeah.
Like, you only hear the negative, the people that disagree with him, but you never hear the people that agree with him, which are a lot too. So, you know.
Yeah, because I don't believe it, because, you know, everyone's like getting COVID and stuff like that, and then, you know, they're talking about the booster or were they vaccinated and stuff like that. Like, my thing was, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But like, that's like blasphemy in some places, you know, like, how could you say that?
It's blasphemy and government.
But I was like, look at the numbers, like, all these people are vaccinated and boosted, and they still got it.
Yeah.
Like, nothing happened, you know. And they're like, oh, imagine if they didn't have it, how sick they would be. I was like, they still got sick as, like, some of them, you know. I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't work. But I don't really care. Like, I'm vaccinated and boosted, you know, because they sort of forced me to. But I wouldn't have done it if I had the choice. But yeah, it's just a funny thing, eh? Like, yeah, I forgot oh yeah, so one of the things I wanted to bring up was I've been thinking about is like being yourself. And I was talking to my wife like on the way here, and I feel like I've wrestled with that a lot. Like, how are you? Like, do you feel like you're yourself, man? Like, really?
I'm still learning that. Especially on the podcast. I think I have. It was easy with Isaiah here, because he's here. He was here, and he was. I could be myself because he's there to back up whatever, you know. Sometimes I feel when I listen back to our stuff, I think, oh man, I should have did this, did that, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't myself. But yeah, I think it's more to me like what to withhold rather than say anything. Like, for me, like, personal stuff, I don't want to put it out there because it's got nothing to do with the topic I'm talking about. You know, and why would I want to talk about my personal problems on the podcast? You know,
You want to cry on the podcast?
Personal, you know, that's the line where I draw. Like, talk about family, and I mean family in a way where it's like private stuff, you know. I wouldn't
keep it separate.
I wouldn't go into detail of family stuff, like, and just stick to the topic, stick to learning from the guests and stuff like that, you know. Like, but I think by doing that, I think it just comes naturally being yourself. Until I do empty out the clip, and then you gotta empty out your clip on a certain topic what you feel. For me, my problem's always been I think too fast than what comes out of my mouth. And what comes out of my mouth comes out too early. And I think about it later on. Oh, shit, that's what I meant. I didn't mean what I said, but I got, you know, that's why I said on this other podcast, I'm a better writer than I am a
because you can have time to think about it and process it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, I'm confident to say I'm a better writer because you're right. You have time to think about it. You can erase a sentence, do it again, think about it more, and, you know, write about it more. So I think my journey now is to try and make my writing match my speech.
I
get my mind. Yeah, because I'm always
on the same level.
Yeah, on the same level, but it's not at the moment.
Yeah. So you feel like you're pretty much yourself consistently, sort of thing? I think
I am. Yeah, I think I am. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's easier to be myself on back on 135. It's harder to be myself.
No, but in general, like work and all that stuff, just in general.
Oh yeah. At work, I don't really talk much. At work, it's not that kind of environment. It's like behind the computer all day.
Yeah. I was talking to my wife, like, I feel like I'm not myself sometimes. Like, mostly I am, but I get scared of getting, crucified sort of thing. Because, like, I think some of the things in my is, like, a little bit edgy, not agreeing, anti what everyone believes. So I don't really say stuff. Like, I find myself being a lot quiet, like, at work and different places in general, because I, like, don't really agree. So I just, like, stay quiet,
Oh yeah, that's how I remember work.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, no, I don't agree with that. But I can't be bothered, like, having an argument or something like that. It doesn't really matter.
Do you think that's the islander side of us?
Maybe, like, I don't, for me, it's like energy. Like, I don't want to spend energy on that. It's not really going to go that far or make that much of a difference, That's what so I'm like, nah, it's not really
That's
it's not a battle I really want to fight.
I think that's your wise old age telling you.
It's like, oh, no.
Old and wiser.
Can't be bothered, Because there's like, this is just a couple of people. And then there's all these other ones, like, if I keep getting into stuff I don't agree with, then I won't be happy.
But that doesn't mean you're not yourself if you don't speak.
Oh, sorry, but like, I think like with the gym and like when I do post sometimes, I want to say something, and I'm like, oh, should I say that? I ask my wife, and she's like, yeah, that's you, and then I won't say it that way. I'll make it nicer,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I'm not myself sometimes. Like, I think I am mostly, but just at times, I'm too scared to get scrutinized, sort of thing, But that's what I'm trying to work towards, being more myself. I was quite encouraged by. There's a famous weightlifting coach that passed away recently, Louis Simmons. He was like unapologetically himself, and then a few other people that I'll come across. I'm like, yeah, like they just did it on their terms.
So you're saying like, when you come to a situation where you want to speak up but you can't be bothered,
Yeah.
your real self will speak up. Is that what you're saying?
Nah, I won't speak up.
Your
I
real
can't be
self,
bothered.
but your real self will, or you just can't be bothered.
Yeah, the real self. Yeah.
But you can't be bothered.
Yeah.
So that there doesn't mean that you're not yourself if you can't be bothered. That just means you can't be bothered.
Yeah, that's just the one example, but it's carried over into like other things, like with the gym, like Zealous and stuff. It became like a beautiful thing, like helping people and all that. But I think my true self it would have been a competitive gym.
Okay. But you couldn't make
it became like a community thing, which is still good. Like, it's a great thing. So the next thing I would do is it's going to be like, actually, it doesn't have to be competitive, but like people have to be driven. Like they might not play a sport, but they have to be killers, sort of thing.
Would they have changed the culture in the gym if you did that?
Yeah. I'm not saying it was bad. I guess it's part of my learning. Maybe it's just part of my process. Like, now I know more what I want.
But changing the culture, if you did, would that upset people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Because it was more of a caring place.
Oh, yeah.
Supportive.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that I would have had that as well, but I wanted people to like excel and do something in their sport, or some sort of competitive arena.
Yeah. See,
not just health and fitness.
See that there.
That's what I'm more interested in. That fires me up.
If this is your vision for a new gym, like say.
Yeah, it is.
And,
it is.
Yeah. And a competitive gym, how different would that be with anything else? And that's what
it's real different.
Exactly.
In New Zealand anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So why not? Because that's different.
I am. That's what
That is because that's everything with podcasting and that. You know what? Okay, I see some other podcasts, right? And I don't make a difference between listening to them and listening to the radio sometimes. That's the way they are. And I think that's, for me personally, my opinion for podcasts shouldn't be like that. It has to be different. Because, people want to hear different. If people want to hear the radio, they turn on YFM or something like that. And there's not many different things around. So having a different perspective on the gym, because they're all like that.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. They're all pretty similar.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
Which is not a bad thing.
But if it's not you, which I feel like it wasn't,
Yeah.
I'm like, now this time, I'd rather have like 10 people
And competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather have that
Yeah.
and not sell out just
Yeah.
to get members in.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
5 people,
Yeah.
but everybody's all in. Because I think, because I'm gonna do it in my garage gym this time, and I'm gonna deck it out and stuff like that. And so I won't have to worry about the money aspect because I own the gym. But because if you have a brick and mortar place, you're trying to pay rent. So you're like, I'll take anybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you gotta
you're forced to do it, eh?
Yeah. So you're like, I don't really want this, but I need to pay the rent.
Yeah.
We need to get new equipment and maintenance and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do it. But my goal this time is to
Start smallly.
I just wanted to keep it small, because the guy Louis Simmons, he called his gym was like this. He didn't call it this, but he mentions it a couple of times when he talks. It's the Shaolin Temple.
Oh, that's cool.
He thought he was like a samurai, man. He was dedicated. He didn't go on holidays because he wanted to focus on training that much, his athletes and all that. Yeah. It's crazy, yeah. I don't want to go that far. I still want to travel and stuff, but I want to take aspect of him. It inspired me. It's he just did it his way. What he wanted to do, Yeah. And his gym was for free. What's it called? But everyone had to be competitive, strong. If you weren't, you had to have the right attitude, basically. Otherwise, they'll kick you out pretty much. And they didn't advertise, so it's all anti the mainstream, advertise, marketing.
Oh,
they try to make it like it was a secret sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
They painted the windows so you couldn't look in and all that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go that far, but basically I just want the word of mouth. This guy gets results. You want to do this, then come down.
I feel like the word of mouth thing is underrated.
Yeah. I want it more like that. I only want, with the sort of listeners, when I say killers, I mean people who are hungry, who are competitive, who are passionate, who really want what they want. That's what I mean. So I only want killers, and then some youth. The group that I want is that maybe a little bit on the soft side is I have a group that I want to start when I get my gym. Is I see a lot of kids who aren't doing a sport at all, and there's a lot of potential. So I want to start a class for them, for weightlifting, strongman and powerlifting, because there's a lot of other islanders that could be really good in it, that they want to do burpees and stuff like that, but they could be a world champion or something like that, in weightlifting, powerlifting, or strongman. So they'll probably be the only class where it's sort of probably normal people to start, but if I see they have some potential sort of thing, and try to build their confidence and bring them along, but eventually try to encourage them to compete sort of thing. Because some kids just have a gift. I was talking about genetics, their parents are strong and stuff like that, but they're not doing anything at the moment. They're just sort of, they used to play sports, and then I know they got self-conscious, lost a bit of confidence, whatever. It's come down, do some lifting and that, and try to find them something that, like you said, with the community, a group that they can belong to, because there is those communities in weightlifting and powerlifting that they can really excel in. Because some people are really strong, man, and they just don't really use it or know it,
This sounds like the real zealous state of mind.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to be like more true to myself. Another thing, like I talked to my wife about being my true self is like being a Christian, because I do have like an aspect where it's like cold and stuff like that. But you know, as a Christian, you're supposed to be like, you know, nice and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like a conflict, you know, at times.
Yeah.
Where you want to be like cutthroat, but then you're like, oh no, I shouldn't be like that, you know?
I'm sure there's a passage in the Bible that helps you out. I'm sure there's.
No. People have done it. Like people have done it. You know, they're Christians and they do great. I just haven't figured out how to mesh the two worlds. But other Christians have, you know. Yeah, I just haven't figured it out for me personally. But it's definitely it's been done, you know, and it's people are doing well.
How do you feel about being competitive though, like in New Zealand? Like I know, professional sports are competitive, but is that what we're seeing in schools? That's still teaching competitiveness, or the kids? Because you hear all the stories about participation awards and all that kind of stuff. And is it prevalent here in schools, in your school, or no, not really?
Yeah, I think it is. It is going down a bit. I think New Zealand does really well for the number of people in that, in my opinion, as on a whole. But I mean, it's probably going around the world, eh? You know, people being less competitive and things like that. I don't know. I guess I can only speak for who I'm working with. But yeah, it seems less, quite a lot, in my opinion, eh? Yeah. Yeah. I guess multiple factors to it. Yeah, I think that one, the tall poppy, and just there's this thing about, just that thing, like, they want to be the hard out guy. People just don't like that, eh? They want to look good. Maybe it's social media. Like, they think by going hard you don't look good. You know what I mean? Like, when you're like going
making
hard out,
facials.
yeah, like, they don't look good. But they don't understand, like, if you're the best player, like, you look good.
Mm.
If you're carving everyone up, you look good. Or whatever. Or showing effort.
Mm.
But they don't, a lot of them don't see it like that.
I saw.
Yeah.
I saw you on social media. Went to the game last night. Blues.
Yeah,
Won
yeah,
the Pacifica.
yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was cool. It's good. There's plenty of tries and good night out with the family. Got some Maccas afterwards, and that was cool, man. Just my kids and my wife's sister-in-law and the nephews and that.
Mm.
So it's good for them. Good experiences and chatting along the way. And yeah, it seemed like it was a friendly game.
Was it?
Not like there's not like they're competitive.
Mm.
It was a good game to watch, but like they don't have a rivalry.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. So no, it was good. It was just like a good rugby game.
Yeah. They came out strong in the beginning. I saw. I was watching it on TV.
Yeah.
But then 1929 at halftime.
Yeah.
So
I thought Guppy had a good game. He had little inside ball and strong in the scrum, and
so it's Alex Hodgman, eh?
Yeah,
So how
yeah.
is he related to?
his cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I thought he had a pretty well rounded game. Yeah. Enjoyed seeing him do his thing. Yeah, just caught up with him a little bit afterwards. And then my nephews wanted to get some autographs and that. And the one I wanted to talk to was Sekope Kip.
Oh,
Kip.
yeah.
So I got a photo of him, and I thought, it's a bit of a legend, like playing with the Wallabies and captaining the team and stuff like that. So pretty big thing, I think. And I didn't realise he was an old Wesley boy, eh?
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, because he played for Monaco.
Yeah, because my brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws, he's a Wesley boy, and this year he told me there's his jerseys up in the schoolhouse or something like that, or somewhere. Yeah, I was like, oh, true, I didn't know that. I thought he was an Aussie, like Islander.
Oh, from there.
Yeah. But no, the man, I thought it was pretty good. Played for New Zealand, played for Aussie, and then come back, to lead the Moana team. Yeah, I think it was pretty. And then I saw Christian Lealifano. Yeah, I thought he was the man as well. Overcoming cancer, and he's played top level as well. I think all those guys are, doing a great job helping lift the team.
It was interesting.
Show them like what top level we need to get to.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
Now they've got the goods, eh? Moana. They just, I think they just need to tidy up a few things, but their strength is also me. Like they go for it, especially their running. But it's when they get turned over all the time, and the breakdown. Well, the scrum's not really good, but you saw some of it was good.
Yeah, they're definitely showing some signs. I haven't followed it like really, really closely, but just a couple of games here and there, some highlights and stuff like that. But exciting anyway. Otherwise, with the Fijian team as well.
The draw.
Yeah. It's cool to see. Yeah.
How about the league? You been following the NRL?
Yeah, I've been following it more closely this year. I got a jump back in like a league tipping competition.
Oh yeah.
So I used to do it for years and years. My uncle used to run it, and then I dropped out because I don't know. I couldn't watch as many games as I used to. Like I couldn't study it, But now, like, because Zaya's playing, like I watch more league now. So
watching Parramatta.
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll jump back in. And so yeah, I'm on a sweep at the moment. I got the first 6 right.
Oh right.
So I don't know if the Eels won today. So they
jump on the TV.
No, but I didn't do too well the first 3 weeks. I think I only got like 4, 5, and 4. So it's like 8 games. So didn't do too well. So hopefully today I did well. But now I've been watching a fair bit of league. This side of the year.
Before the first game started, before the season started, I looked up the TAB for the wooden spoon, and they said it was Tigers.
Yeah, they look pretty
But they're
rubbish.
pretty rubbish,
Yeah.
The Warriors are second or fourth. I think the Warriors are fourth to be.
Yeah, it sort of
wooden
looks
spoon.
about right at the moment. Yeah.
But man, there's been some mediocre games, right? Especially the lower teams. Like
Which one?
like every time the Tigers play, except for the first game they played against Melbourne Storm, but they played awesome. And I was thinking about the wooden spoon thing. Man, these guys don't look like wooden spoon.
Yeah.
They played awesome, but they still lost at the end.
Yeah.
But then they were crap the next game and the game after that. So
I think a lot of teams get up for the Storm.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Everyone wants to beat them, sort of thing.
Mm.
You been doing any reading in that lately, or?
I've been reading Alan Duff's new book.
What's that one?
Do you know Alan Duff? He wrote Once Were Warriors.
Oh right, yeah. I remember you telling me actually.
Yeah, I actually bought the book, but it was hard for me to read it because I was distracted.
Yeah.
So I just got the audiobook and just listened to that. I got through half of it in 1 day, 2 days.
Yeah.
So I got a whole collection of books upstairs, but I've been thinking of just buying all the audiobooks for all those books because I got no time to read them, man.
Yeah.
Do you find that?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. I've been reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's one of his book, Total Recall.
Yeah, I heard about
That's
that.
been mean, eh?
Are you actually reading it or are you listening?
Yeah, real book. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I usually do like a Bible study in the morning, and then at night I'll read that before I go to bed. Yeah, it's really good, eh? Now, for me, like reading is like one of the most important things in my day because I feel like it helps my speech and when I'm reading the most, that's when my podcasts are the best too. Like I feel like I get more words and my speech is better and stuff like that. I'm more creative. So I don't read that much anymore now. I only read that and like the Bible a little bit, and it's like a study Bible, journal sort of thing. So I don't read that much these days, but no, I'm really enjoying the Arnold one. I always read a book, real book, like even if it's just a few pages a day. I feel like it's like you got to exercise the mind. But I was thinking of getting audiobooks just to catch up because like there's so many books I want to read, but I just won't get around to.
Exactly, and that's the reason why I got into audiobooks. But now I'm thinking, is that going to take away my training my mind if I actually read the sentence?
Yeah.
Because when you're reading the sentence, you're actually looking at the words and you're looking at how they're spelled, and you're looking at how the words come together.
Exactly.
And you can't get that when you're listening.
Yeah.
Someone's just talking to you.
Something the way the words are in the paragraph and stuff like that. Yeah.
And I think maybe I'm losing that now since I'm listening.
Yeah.
But only listening because I got no time to read.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm gonna make time to read.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't read a lot, but if I can get a couple of pages a day at least, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, you're right. Like with the sentences and stuff like that, it's hard to explain to people that don't read. Like they don't get it, eh? Like, but there's something magical in it that, your vocab gets better, and I feel like I don't stutter as much, and like you're trying to think of the right words for the sentence. Like I feel like it comes to me quicker. I don't know, maybe ask questions a different way, things like that.
Yeah,
because you like think of it from the book.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, and then you chuck it in there and stuff like that, try to sound smart or whatever. But yeah, I feel like it just broadens the perspective. But man, I love the Arnold book. It's been on my shelf for ages, eh?
So is that his whole life or just part of
Yeah.
his life? Oh,
Yeah, so I'm sort of up to where he's getting into acting and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like making Pombi 9.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I really enjoyed the part like more early on, like when he was in Austria and stuff, and going into the army and like the risks he took to get into bodybuilding, and it's quite inspiring, eh? It's quite like all the stuff he's done, man. He's a hard worker, eh? And he's always had like, you can sort of see he was always like curious and had an eye out for different things, like because Joe Weider is the business guy, but he's always asking him questions, and like he's quite a curious guy in terms of business and stuff like that. So you can see why he's done well, like afterwards. It's by no accident, because a lot of the other bodybuilders were good, but they didn't build like the persona. The guy to be a little bit funny, and like he knew that was all a part of it. The show, like when they're getting interviews, he figured out that he had to had show some charisma and be a little bit funny at times and just be a person that people wanted to be around, not just the body, you know. And so I think he was quite smart. He kept adding to himself different aspects of business, and he wrote like, you know, the Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding. Like, it's quite a famous book. Like, he just wrote it like as he went along and that, but it wasn't a plan. It's just because people would ask him different things, and they would experiment, him and Franco Colombo. Like, they would do to try to find out different ways to grow muscles, and they would just report on it, you know, to see what worked, and then they ended up turning that into a book. So they would maybe train their hamstrings and calves or something or whatever, and they would like we'll try this, and this is what happened, you know, stuff like that, what they found. So I was like, wow, that's quite ahead of the game, eh? Recording all that sort of stuff. And I recommend it, eh? Great book. Yeah.
I remember reading about the evolution of action movies. So in the 80s, you had all these Arnold and Sylvester Stallone movies, and it was like from the start to the finish. So the finish when Bruce Willis did Die Hard, and next minute you don't have to have big muscles to be an action star.
Yeah.
So that told Hollywood, oh, we don't need these two muscles anymore. We can get normal guys now. It works, you know. It was like the the end of the
guy who smokes, has a wife beater, a scruffy. Yeah,
it was interesting, you know.
Bruce Willis was a Bruce Willis,
because when Die Hard came out, it was an action movie, but he never had muscles, and he got wasted, he got beaten up, and he got shot, and he was bleeding, and Arnold and Sylvester Stallone never got a scratch in their movies. But this is the first time he saw the action hero beaten up, and he was just a normal guy. So that told Hollywood, oh, now we can get anyone to be an action hero now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that era, I didn't realize, like, as a kid or as a teenager, how much they influenced. And then looking back, there were signs that I was destined for, like, weights in the gym. You know?
Yeah.
Like Sly, you know, Arnold, Bruce Lee, Van Damme, like Apollo Creed and all those. Those are all the dudes I looked up to in a way. But I don't know, it was just like subliminal, you know, like. And then like my brother and uncle had a little like bench set up at home. We used that here and there. Went to my mate's place, used it here and there. My cousin had it. So like, if I think back, I didn't realize it then, but there were signs that that's what I would be obsessed with.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was always curious about it, but I never really dived fully into it. But I was like, oh, there was things that was pointing me in that direction, eh?
You know, I see Arnold now as a, what is it? How old is he now? 60, 70?
I'm not sure, eh?
Well, man, I feel sad, eh?
Why?
'Cause he's old. Doesn't look like Commando anymore, you know?
Yeah. He uses his brains more now. He's done well with all his business and stuff.
Mm.
You know, the Arnold Classic, Columbus, Ohio. So, he's the man. He's,
You know, in contrast to the book I'm reading, the Alan Duff book, Conversation of My Country. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, eh? Like he talks about it's the truth. Because Alan Duff, he left New Zealand to go live in France for 10 years. Yeah. And he had his view on New Zealand. He brought a book out when he was doing Once Warriors. And he left New Zealand, lived in France for 10 years, came back. And this book is just about his observations of New Zealand now, being away from 10 years, and how much it's improved. It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
It's been like, we were talking a little bit before we start recording, it's been a quiet year for us so far in the podcasting. What's you know, obviously with the passing of Saya, like what do you think, like going forward this year, like for the podcast and yourself and all that sort of stuff?
You know, there was never any thought of quitting. You know, it's still, for me, it's still enjoyable. It's still fun to do, and yeah, man, just want to carry it on, eh? Like, but not think about it as a chore. You know, like I'm just gonna just do it. You know, I don't care how much episodes we do, 1,000, get to 1,000, 2,000, just keep going, man. But yeah, like. Yeah, that's how I see it, and you know, so I see you doing your one, and you're still going. I mean, nothing's changed for you. Like the mindset's still there. and it's all about just keeping going with the mindset. Just try to find new ways. It's funny because we were talking about editing in the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on that. That's the way to do it.
Right.
I haven't been looking at any shortcuts yet. Like, how do I?
More efficient ways.
Yeah, more efficient ways. I haven't been looking at that. I'm sure there is, but
Yeah.
do I have to buy new equipment? Do I have to
Yeah.
invest in new stuff to make it faster? I don't know. Or new programs? Or
Yeah, there usually is, if we look into it enough. Like, I need to do more of that as well. Like,
Yeah.
look into more efficient ways and stuff like that. I feel like I do things the hard way sometimes. and
yeah,
that.
yeah. So I think just to maybe get to a point where I have time to look at that stuff. But with COVID, it's been hard. The last 2 years, with podcasting, especially people coming to your studio at home, Like, you've been doing the online one, but how are you finding that? Like, compared, it's different,
No, I don't like it as much, but
Mm.
yeah. I mean, it's still better than nothing. Like, I still enjoy connecting with people, and yeah, it's still fun. Have had a few like from overseas and stuff like that, which has been cool. I mean, which would have only been possible through online anyway. So it was cool doing that. But yeah, nothing beats like an in-person experience, podcast type of thing. Yeah. It's been harder podcasting this year for me.
Yeah,
Just
because of work and
just work and life and things like that. But no, I still love it, enjoy it, and still like come away and excited and encouraged from it and stuff like that. Yeah, learning a lot. So now I'll definitely keep doing it. But yeah, there's a bit of work at times, but I'm not trying to force it as much as I have in the past.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If it's not on, it's not on.
no, because the thing for
I used to try to force it. Yeah.
the thing for every week,
Yeah.
consecutively,
Yeah. I've been like actually I have been reading a little bit. Not there's this book Tao Te Ching. It's like, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Tao Te Ching. That's like English, but I don't know, Tao Te Ching. But anyway, it's like the book on it's sort of like that Bruce Lee, the water.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of those things like dance without dancing and all that sort of stuff. It's been cool. Like, I've been trying to incorporate some of that. This is the book that, like, if my kids, like, if they're in the shower or something like that, and I'm just like, I wash them and I'm just letting them play. Like, I might read a page or something. So, but I'm not reading it like the way I'm the Arnold one. It's just if I'm sort of waiting around. Anyway, yeah, I've been trying to incorporate like less forcing things. Most of my life I've forced things. Even with the podcast, trying to do one a week. It's weird, Like, I feel like I have a lot more time, but not a lot more time. I feel more relaxed. So far, I like the life of forcing things, but I haven't been doing it for that long. It's probably been maybe 3 or 4 months of like purposely not trying to do as much, because I've always tried to do a lot, just ideas but I'm like, nah, just focus on the kids' work and the rugby and stuff like that. Doing less, because it's at times forcing things is like fun and exhilarating, and it's cool creating. But then at times it's really stressful, because like, I gotta get this done, So that's what I mean by forcing things, and then it makes me like less present, like with my kids and my wife. So that's sort of like a big reason why I sort of trying it out. But I don't know, it feels less exciting. Like getting things done or completing stuff, like it's like, yeah, I did that, or the reward of like achievement or completing something.
I always have
But
this.
it's still an early experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have this thing in my head. What gets me through these things is cut the stress. Yeah, I always have that in my head. Just cut the stress. If if I force myself to do something, if time's running out, I'll just think I'll cut the stress till tomorrow.
All right.
What's
yeah,
another day,
Yeah. Nah, my thing before that was like, it has to be done,
Oh yeah.
because I don't want to break a streak or something.
Mm.
Or if I said I'm gonna do it today, like it has to be done today. But like, I wouldn't always do that. Like, sometimes I would do what you said. I'll do it tomorrow. But it would beat me down, like mentally. Like, I didn't like that. I put it off. Yeah. So I didn't always come through and complete it, but I would try, to do, because your body remembers that. You, like, if I don't come through for you, right? you start to know me as a guy that doesn't come through. So you start to know yourself as someone who doesn't come through, you know? So like for me,
I've been that guy.
So for me, like I try to come through because that's the self-image I want to have for myself, that I complete it.
Is that pressure?
Yeah, it is. But it's good. You know,
Good pressure.
we need pressure. Like, because if I didn't have pressure, I wouldn't do anything.
I find
You know?
if I put myself in pressure, the output is half-ass.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. It's
Like,
interesting how
yeah.
everyone perceives pressure. Yeah.
And I know it is.
Yeah.
So I might get it done, but it's messy.
Right.
And man, if I spent yesterday doing it instead of going somewhere else and not doing it, it would have been neither.
So, well, what's the best like scenario for you to complete something?
Because I'm being used to it with uni and my work, because there's always deadlines, and you
Yeah.
gotta, especially with deadlines. If I leave it too late, it's not gonna be perfect,
Yeah.
and I'll just suffer the consequences of it coming back to fix things up. But that was just my fault,
Yeah.
you know. So, how do I fix that kind of thing?
No, what's like an ideal thing for you to complete a task, or like, you know, saying the pressure, it's not good for you.
Yeah,
Like, how do you like to?
like I do still cut the stress, and I suffer the consequences,
Yeah.
and I try to do better next time.
Yeah.
That I think that constantly happens.
Well, what's the thing when you do it? Like, what does that look like?
When I do it,
What environment is that?
I think I should be by myself and
Just have time.
have time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because
I have to be in the mindset. Like there's always distractions, and
Yeah.
I'm bad at concentrating.
yeah.
Like if there's a game on, or
Yeah.
I just want to watch another episode of the series.
Yeah.
Oh, one more after. Oh, one
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, what's it called? Yeah, I don't always do, like I said, I don't always make it, but I'll rather, because before I had kids and wife, I had like, I feel like at the box I had a lot more time. Yeah, I know what you mean, like doing things without the stress, or someone like, I think I did have time there to do stuff, but now I sort of have no choice.
Yeah.
You know? So the pressure is unavoidable.
But then
I have to accept it, because as soon as you get home, the kids are there.
Oh yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do? You know? There's no choice.
But did you plan for all this?
What do you mean?
Did you plan for how much time will be taken away from having a small family? Or were you just gonna take it as it comes?
I didn't realize.
Oh, no one really does, eh?
You don't really know until it happens. You know what I mean? You sort of think you know, but you don't really know until it happens. Yeah. But I have my time in the morning usually, like to do my own stuff.
Yeah, that's what. Because I heard you talk about when you were talking about the sleep stuff. Even when before when you brought it up, like what's the best time to go to sleep and wake up? Yeah. Like for me, you think that it's better to get everything in at night and then go to sleep, wake up early, or wake up when you wake up and just go. But I think it should be the other way around. Because at night, there's TV there and stuff to distract you. But if that's going to be a distraction, just go to sleep anyway. Wake up real early in the morning. Already have your 8 hours sleep. Yeah. Wake up 3 o'clock and do your work then, because it's quiet as. Yeah. Everyone's asleep. That's your alone time to get the job done.
Yeah, I like it that way. But like I wouldn't say it's the only way. Like, you know, it's different for everyone. As long as you get your sleep. Like, because some people like work better at night for some reason. You know, they're creative that way. So if they can try to, if their job or their lifestyle allows for them to sleep in, you know, and then work late at night, then that's good for you as well. You know,
a lot of people found that out during COVID, because working from home, people have discovered better working in the morning, working at night, and because you've got 24 hours to do the work, there's no you got heaps of time to do other stuff, and it's more, I don't know, relaxing for people, especially headspace. Like you get time to do personal stuff.
Yeah, I think it's important to like play around, experiment, to see what works for you, like, and just take like little notes of how you feel, things like that. But I mean, people won't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are too lazy to do that. So like, I guess there will be a few, But it's sort of ingrained into our society that, you know, the more work more and all that sort of stuff.
Or the 9 to 5.
Yeah, they don't really take it seriously, like sleep and, you know, all that sort of health and nutrition and things like that. Especially with like the media as well, like get a shot and fix your COVID, you know, instead of like fix your sleep, fix your nutrition, you know, get some movement in, you know. They just want a magic pill, magic shot.
Yeah.
You know, so
like the vaccine.
so yeah, they don't want, people don't listen. It's only like a small percentage that will listen, and like that's sort of like why I want to just start my own gym and then cut out all those people.
Mm.
So everybody
Oh,
like,
yeah.
comes like, I'm like, if you don't want to do this, then like, you
It's
know,
not for you.
Yeah, you don't do, like they don't have to listen to me to a T, but you have to buy into the principles and you know the basic things of it all. You know, if you're not willing to do what it takes, like that's gonna drag the group down.
Yeah, and you know that thing should be, there should be a lot more of that in places. It's like going to school.
Yeah,
You know, their teachers are strict on you to do the work, otherwise you get expelled.
yeah.
I mean, that's the same sort of thing, right?
Yeah. But it's when you like when you pay.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Louis Simmons,
Yeah.
no one paid him.
Oh,
So like if you pay me to train you, yeah, you own me, because you're paying me.
oh,
But if you're not paying me and you come to me, it's like, we do what I tell you.
oh, yeah.
We'll go, if you don't like it, then go. There's no ties. You know, that type of thing.
But then, Tim Grover? He talked about this in one of his books.
Really?
In his book, how when you pay me, he did say, I think the same thing. He said the same thing. Like they expect you to, they expect the end result without doing the work.
Yeah.
Just because they paid you.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, people expect miracles, and yeah, I don't know, something in their mind, they think they feel entitled to so much.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Bro, I got COVID a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. How was that?
But I got that long COVID.
Long COVID, yeah.
Yeah. You know, if
Do
you
you
get,
still cough afterwards?
like, you know, different people react to it differently, right? Like some people, they get a blocked nose and that's it. Some people get 2 days of flu and that's it. But if you get the long COVID, like I got, you get 2 days of flu, which is normal flu, and then you get 5 days of just no energy at all. And every you go for a walk around the house, that takes all your energy away. So I got that. It's like, it sucked, man. It sucked. It's like, have you got heat stroke before? Heat stroke? When you're out in the sun and you just feel that heavy. When you go home, you're just tired, but you feel heavy.
I feel tired and that, yeah, but I've never had heat stroke, but yeah, I felt like sick like that, yeah, tired and heavy.
Yeah, that's the probably closest I could
Put it, yeah, describe it.
describe it, yeah. Yeah, but I had it for like 5 straight days.
Damn,
It sucked, man.
pretty nasty.
It was.
Yeah.
Don't recommend it on anyone. But I got double vax. I didn't get the booster.
Imagine if you got the booster.
Maybe it would have been worse.
Nah, I don't know.
maybe it will be still the same. I don't know.
You wouldn't have got it.
Maybe I wouldn't have got it, yeah.
Yeah, some people say that, eh?
But your family's pretty much healthy. You weren't through the COVID. Because I heard because a lot of households are getting it through the schools. Huh? Kids go to school and the kids come back.
Yeah.
Kids, they have no effect. But the adults.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother got it, and I think his son and daughter. And then we had to stay home because, you know, close contacts. But we kept testing negative, my kids. But I think we had it. Like, we did have, like, a little bit of a cough and a nose thing. No, we had some symptoms, but it wasn't super bad. But, yeah, I had a little bit of cough, nose thing. And my kids had it as well. Probably, like, a little bit worse than us because they're a little bit younger. But, yeah, we kept testing negative. I did about 3 or 4 tests. I don't know if I did it right or not. I don't know. But I tried to do it right. And, yeah, I felt tired, like, a little bit more tired. Like, I'd wake up feeling fine. And then, like, I'd get tired earlier, you know? But not, like, crazy tired, just, like, more tired than usual, you know?
Yeah.
More tired than usual. And that would last about 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah. But I think I did have COVID, to be honest. Like, there was a few symptoms.
Just didn't feel like it.
I don't know.
Feel like anything different?
I don't, because you know when you do the test, you go to the driver and they pick it up your nose. It goes like to your brain or something.
Yeah.
I don't think I was going deep enough or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Like I was pushing it up as far as I could, and like I kept sneezing.
is that the red test?
Yeah.
Not that it's only the bottom of your nose. Like
Is it?
you don't have to
I
go.
don't know.
You don't have to go all the way up.
Oh, maybe I was doing it wrong, and I did have it. I don't know. But yeah, I felt like I had it, and my kids as well. But that was torture staying home.
It's crazy because after I had it, after I recovered, like I was 100% energized, right? And
It's like you had a rest.
it felt like there's no more COVID in the world anymore. Let's open up the borders. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. I feel like people have relaxed a little bit, like once they've had it.
Oh, they are.
They're like, oh, it's not too bad. You get sick like a flu, you know?
Well, you don't have to wear a mask outside anymore.
Yeah.
You wear a mask inside, but then when you're eating, you don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So what? You wear a mask from the door to the table,
Yeah.
and then
Well, we went to Macca's last night, and I went to put on my mask going in.
uh,
And then I was like, because some of the kids at school, they didn't wear a mask, but they say they got some condition.
oh yeah.
So I was like, no, I won't put it on. If you ask me, I'll just say I got a condition. But he didn't ask me, so I just walked around with the mask. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's not really necessary anymore. But I don't know. Other people would disagree, but that's what I feel anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear going on, eh? There was a lot
Yeah.
of fear talk going on, and people were, paranoid.
Yeah.
But you don't need to scan anymore. I don't think
Nah.
you don't need because it's hard to track now.
I think I only did it a couple of times. I guess
Yeah.
people are going to be angry at that as well. But I feel like they like training us to it's a little bit conspiracy theory, but training us to obey, tracking us and stuff like that. So I only did it a couple of times because people got it and then like they couldn't track some things anyway, right?
Yeah, no.
So I was like,
No, they can't. Oh, what? 20,000 a day?
that's what I'm saying.
cases?
Like, yeah,
So
yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Track?
Yeah,
We're gonna
so I
track
feel like
down-
it was pretty useless. So I didn't buy into it in the beginning as well. Like sometimes I would just hold my phone up to the window so they could see, but I wasn't even doing anything.
I know there's some
Yeah.
places people walking in with no mask.
Yeah, it's starting to become more common.
Yeah, it's just getting relaxed. Some places don't even ask for the pass anymore.
Yeah.
Some places.
It's good, man. We got to get back to normal, eh?
Mm.
Gotta get back. I heard there could be another wave in August.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, we're just getting out of this one.
Yeah, I know. It's like just let us, do our sports and stuff, man. It's killing my seasons.
I'm waiting to travel again.
Oh yeah, we off
I
to.
just want to go somewhere. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know, but I just
Yeah.
want to. I felt like I haven't been away for a long time.
Yeah. Need to get away.
Yeah, trapped in this country. Probably. I don't mind doing a trip, eh?
Podcast trip.
True, eh?
Yeah.
We always talked about that, eh?
Yeah. I want to do it because like
Taking the gear overseas.
yeah, one of the podcasts I follow, they do that. And they help like grow their podcasts and stuff. That was like a exponential sort of thing that happened. It's fun. It's fun. So I'll definitely do that one day. Yeah, like you do your holiday things, and then if you run into someone interesting, you do podcasts and things like that. Or you could probably plan out a couple, and then just do your normal sightseeing around that, or catch up with friends or family.
I did find when I took the stuff down to Wellington.
Yeah,
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Get some guests down there and come back. Set up
That
with
was a good episode. Polly Blanquet.
yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. But that's the type of things we're talking about, eh? Like avenues sports can take you, eh? Like for Brendan, take him. You think NBA is the ultimate,
Yeah.
but no, it doesn't have to
I
be.
didn't even know the things he did.
Oh, really?
That was pretty cool. The college ball and Greece and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. That was pretty cool, man. Yeah, like that.
But we're trained to think NBA is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
NBA is the only place you can
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
But listening to Brendan, like, no, you can make money in other places.
Well, like did you follow the Breakers, the Unbreakable series on Sky One or whatever? Or Sky Two?
I think I'm not really. I've seen it. I've seen the hitting.
Yeah, one of the seasons. I can't remember. I think it was the first season. Like they went and played a few preseason games in America. So like even against NBA teams, I think
That's right. They went to OKC.
Yeah.
Played OKC.
I think it was a few like of the development players and stuff like that. But still, you still got to travel to Oklahoma, and I think they went to Memphis as well. So it's still pretty cool. We're just playing in the Australian League. You could travel all over Australia, and then maybe in the off season you might play a few overseas games and stuff like that. That's a pretty cool life, man. Even like you said, not even playing NBA, but it's still
Yeah.
a good career.
Yeah.
And stuff
Traveling
like
and
that. Yeah. And like, because I played like New Zealand. I didn't do too much beyond like New Zealand 16 schoolboys. So like, you go to these hotels and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, man. Like, you get like all this free food and gear and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool feeling to stay in these hotels and stuff. But it sounds like the old guys get sick of that because they have families and stuff like that. But when you're like young, it's pretty cool. It's exciting.
It was kind of exciting when Brendan was talking about his college days.
Yeah, like that sounds fun. They look after you.
Yeah.
Like if you're a good player, they look after you. They feed you and stuff like that. You coming up as a poor kid, eating home brand Weet-Bix and things like that, and then you go to you make rep teams and you travel and they're giving you bacon and eggs and stuff like that. You're like, yo man, this the whole thing, smorgasbord sort of thing. And then for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Knowing what sports can take you and knowing that you're a father of 2 kids and just having those visions of what they can achieve, what sort of life they can have, lifestyle they can have. It's a cool way. And it's probably, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. Like, I'm thinking, man, just hurry up. I want to get there. I want to see what they're going to do. Like,
nah, it's funny, like, because I enjoy like training the kids I train now, but I've got to always remember like my kids come first. So it's like trying to balance that. Because Tuesday, Thursday is like rugby training. Some Saturdays, as I've said before, but like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I pick up my kids and I try to like take them to the park or just play with them and things like that, develop them. I try to go to the parks most days if it's like a nice day, because they gotta like climb and learn how to use their body and just have fun. Like, if like people listening to this probably feel like I'm just a serious guy, but I just let them have fun, because kids want to play and like that's development. So I just get them to play. I bought them like those tennis things where you stick it in the ground and it swings around on a string, the ball. Like I got her one of those so she can learn how to hit balls. Like that's fun. I don't like say you hit 10, 100 balls, I just like hit it if you can, So I still keep it fun, like they won't get serious until they're into teens, It's all just going to be fun and games, keeping them active, development, all these young ages. So yeah, I don't want to push them away or scary, but they've got to do something every day because they have energy, They have energy. They want to play. They're curious. They're exploring their bodies. So just trying to provide, opportunities. It's actually like hard work in a way. I can see why parents like don't do it or give up on it, because like taking them to the park and it's quite a hassle,
Mm.
But it's like, if I want my kids to be great, that's what I got to do. And like we go swimming lessons and stuff.
Mm.
So it's like, you got to pack the bags and then they're screaming, they don't want to get out or, whatever it is. Like, it's not easy. So I can sort of empathize with parents. Like, they're like, oh, we're not doing anything, just stay home,
Yeah.
because it's easier. But I feel like it'll be better for them overall, like just different environments. Like I want them to be outgoing, just for life as well, not scared to go into see different people, different places. They can travel and be independent, So, man, they're only like 3 and 1, and it's hard, to be honest, to try to keep them active, because it's easy to just chuck on the Sky
or
YouTube and things
Cartoon,
like that. It is easy, man, So at
That's
least
the modern day babysitter now.
yeah, like I do, I'm guilty of it, but I just like, man, if I can get them to play for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, like it's like not even hard stuff. They're just like climbing up and down, going down the slide or stuff like that. And I usually try to get them to go bare feet, walk on the grass and just feel the ground, man, feel the earth, Don't just carpet and indoors, get the sun, especially now it's nice weather.
Yeah.
And the chips and stuff like that in the ground. Yeah, just don't want them to be soft. And, kids are too, all wrapped up in cotton wool, Things like that. You're supposed to graze your knee here and there and fall off some stuff and that, It's a part of it.
Just like, I watched the documentary. Do you know basketball player named Bobby Hurley?
The point guard, Duke.
Point guard.
Yeah.
Do you know his high school story?
No.
So, his dad was the coach.
All right.
And his dad treated him harder than his teammates.
Right.
Like he'll say stuff like, "Oh, If you can't do that, go cry home to mum. Go home, go cry to mum. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll make him run around if he did a little mistake. So he'll be harder on him than all the rest of the team,
Yeah.
which made the rest of the team think, man, if he's hard on him, we better like
Right,
work
right.
because he's gonna be. If that's how hard he is, he's gonna be kick our ass. So we
Yeah.
better work hard. So that was like a psychological thing. But the interview when Bobby Hurley's old now, he told, my dad he used to do this to me. But I think but his dad was talking. He said, nah, that was just a way for me to make sure the team understands that there's no, just because he's my son, he doesn't get special treatment.
Yeah, right.
And I'm gonna be
hard on him
Yeah.
as everyone else.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna have little.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the coach's son.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And I thought, wow, that's interesting. I don't think you'll see that.
I haven't seen that, no. There's been like instances, like I haven't seen the Tiger Woods one, but I heard his dad was crazy.
Mm.
And so I guess there is instances like there's a docker one there, Trophy Kids. So some kids do, like parents do take it too far. But most of the ones, like the Williams sisters, maybe Bobby Hurley, I haven't seen that one. The Mello brothers, like there's probably heaps of other examples as well. Like they thank their parents, man, for pushing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is examples and instances where it is too far, but I mean, these parents, they got something wrong, whatever. They've been through their trauma and stuff like that. But I think you can't just put everyone in the same basket. That wants people that want to push their kids. I just don't want my kids to be like the average status quo,
Yeah, I think it's when parents expect the kids to reach the top, but don't
Yeah.
understand what it takes to get there. Hey,
Yeah.
do you think?
I just think when they don't put them in, what I was saying before, like, think that, like, I want basketball, but if they're not good at basketball and they're really gravitating towards something else, we're gonna move, we're gonna change. You know what I mean? But when they force it, no matter what.
Because I remember when Seth was on the podcast, he said, "Man, if I was training my son like, if I was training these kids like I train my son, I'll get arrested."
Yeah.
But I just always thought, man, because I think to be the best, you gotta, because people like Michael Jordan, I'm talking about the people that top of their game, like Michael Jordan, or I don't know, John Lomu, just talent, or
I think
freak.
it's more talent. I think he's more of a freak.
Kobe Bryant,
Yeah, Kobe Bryant. Yeah.
Tiger
I
Woods.
think Richie McCaw is more on that.
Tiger Woods, Richie McCaw, Venus Serena.
Yeah.
Like, they've set the bar. And
Yeah.
if you look into how they got there, that's what you gotta do. And it's sometimes when you look at it, it's scary. You look at it, oh hell no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but you might not be that player. Like you might want to be a role player that doesn't go crazy, because you can still play like NRL or Super Rugby or be an All Black and not be crazy, because some of them make it and it's not their whole life. It's a passion, but they still have other things. Whereas it seems like Richie and that they were sort of one mind on one goal.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on how far you want to take it and what type of mindset you have, like naturally sort of thing. Because some people have that, in them. Yeah, I think some of it's born in you,
Yeah.
Part, like not the whole thing, but part of it.
And if it is born in you, it has to be nurtured. Do you think?
Yeah. Like that's what I was saying. Like part, not the whole thing. Yeah, and then the environment and the nurture and all that sort of can shape the direction it goes. But yeah, always, one of the other sayings I always say is like, why not? Why not? It's just two arms, two legs. Everybody's the same, man. You're born, naked, little kid, babies or whatever. No one's, not special sort of thing.
I was reading the article of St. Peter's University, how they were winning, and the coach was saying, "Well, these five will not seem these five of us."
Yeah. Why not, man?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's even like it's 5 on 5.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, one of the things that I learned when I watched, I probably mentioned it before somewhere, when I watched Saya play, it was on the 15s game. It was at Mags, and they played Avondale College on the 15s. I think I mentioned it, yeah. But anyway, I'll share it again anyway. They lined up, you line up, you shake hands in the middle of the field. 2 teams, 2 lines, and they shake hands. And you look at both teams, and both teams are pretty similar size, like a couple of tall guys, a couple of short guys. pretty similar. If you look at them, you would think it's a pretty even game, right? Like, Mags aren't all massive. They're pretty similar. I think Mags won 100 something nil. And like, how does that happen? It's all in the mind. They weren't nurtured the right way. You know what I mean? That was before I worked at Avondale, like many years ago. But I always remembered that it's the environment, eh? You gotta have good coaches and people pushing you. That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone needs to be pushed. They're not that much different from the Mags kids, but they just maybe weren't believed in, didn't have the right coaching, right environment. 100 nil when you're a pretty similar size. You know what I mean? Like, what is that? I get it, like some of the South teams, they're monsters, like they're giants, so like, oh yeah, everyone's scared and stuff like that. But they had no reason to be scared. Like, there was it looked like a pretty even physical matchup.
I'm always comparing American sports to New Zealand sports in terms of the culture, and the competitive is a big difference. The competitiveness, yeah, especially in like now talking about high school, kids have to learn it. Eh?
Yeah,
Kids,
well, some now I'm saying there's always a couple that are,
yeah,
but not many of the team. There's usually like a couple.
Are those
They're
couple the
usually
ones talking on the field?
You always see, they always stand out.
Yeah,
There's 1 to 3 guys or girls that Now there's always a couple because their parents are probably competitive or have good genes. I'm just saying as in general as a whole. Now there'll always be competitive people. I'm just saying it's not that many as there probably was before. I remember my primary school team. There was like 5 or 6 of us, all like killers. Like all competitive as like So, and then the rest was sort of just on the boat. Tagging along, but that was a lot more than 1 or 2 or 3 now. There's 5 or 6 of us.
How would you say the competitiveness was when you were a kid growing up in Australia playing league? Like,
I think I grew up in a great era of Australian sports. Like, it was when it was great, and it's not that great anymore. Like, that was like Shane Warne and that, Steve Waugh. The cricket team was the best. The league team was the best. The rugby team was the best. That was with like Johnny Eels and that, Gregan, the league team, Andrew Johns and that, Fittler. So yeah, I grew up. Everybody was competitive. Yeah, that was normal growing up. It was the way to be. Like, that's why I love the Australian cricket team, because they used to talk trash and beat everyone down, and they loved it. Eh? I used to go against them.
Yeah.
I used to go for New Zealand sometimes and like West Indies and stuff, but they used to just beat everyone's ass, and just like laugh at them. And so, yeah, I guess I learned some of that sort of stuff from that era, because it hasn't been the same since. Because the rugby's been pretty rubbish. The league's still been pretty good. And the cricket hasn't been the same.
Trash talking does a lot, eh? Does a lot for athletes' confidence, and especially your team when, when someone trash talks.
Yeah, I wasn't really a good trash talker, eh? I don't know. I sort of got more into the art of it as I've gotten older, but I wish I sort of studied it or was taught more of it when I was younger. Like, I would do it sometimes, then not do it, and you got to sort of find, I guess, your groove. But some players aren't, and some players are. So
because to me, when someone trash talks, that shows his passion, his competitive. He wants to win. Like he's and his adrenaline is running like going crazy, and
they're in it.
Yeah, they're in it. To win it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think, but then not everybody's a trash talker as well. Some players just get on with it. Yeah, I don't know that if I was or not. Sometimes I was. So, yeah, so I think now that I'm an adult, I am a little bit, but not like a hard out one. Yeah. Because there's some that just yap all day, yeah. And then, like, I'll just say stuff here and there. But more stuff to just get in their head a little bit, but nothing too malicious or anything like that. You don't want to get in a scrap, But just, more stuff to get into their head. We'll have a little giggle sort of thing.
Sweet, man. So what's happening next few weeks for you?
Just now focus on the rugby, man. Like, it's so the kids and the rugby, my own training. Like, I've been trying to push some numbers. I did a powerlifting comp earlier in the year, so still enjoying that. Yeah, just trying to keep it basic, like I was saying, like less stress, less forcing things, and just trying to be great at my job, as the trainer for our team. and just supporting the coaches and the staff. So, doing that. Hopefully we can have a winning season this year for Avondale. That would mean a lot.
5-5.
At least. I don't know. Maybe the coaches will get angry at me that maybe they're thinking championship. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too small. We'll see.
Baby steps.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, from 2-8, and losing all the other seasons before that, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. Loving it, hanging out with the boys, getting to know the boys, and then just trying to have fun with my kids outdoors and that. Plugging along with the podcast. Not forcing it. Yeah, trying to be like water, like Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just just try not to stress. Just sleep well, just stay healthy. Play the long game more, and see how things go. What about you, man?
Man, after all this COVID stuff, man, like working from home, back in the office now, full time. So no more working from home anymore. And it sort of like drained me because now after like stuck in traffic and to want to wake up early and go. Yeah. But no, I think it's pretty cool to get back in the office and like see my workmates again. That's what I'm thinking. Like it should be a balance. You should maybe half the week home, half the week at work.
Right. So you can communicate, hang out.
Yeah, do stuff. But I don't know. Might be a good thing. But yeah, man, back at work, and this is the first episode this year of Back in the 1 for 5 without Isaiah. Shout out to Isaiah. Rest in peace, my friend. Love you. But yeah, man, just gonna kick this off again. See if I get the co-host or not. But I don't want to stop the my learning of people, talking to people, and just just going with the flow. Like I love this, like just random conversation, like. Yeah. It's not scripted, We didn't even say what we're gonna talk about. We just came and started talking.
Yeah, I was like, is anyone else coming? He's like, no, it's just us. I was like, all good. I like talking about myself anyway. So.
I forgot to ask you about your competition, your weightlifting competition.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was funny. Like it was different competing now. Like it's been so long, but just more of a mature person. Like it was cool. I really enjoyed it, because in the younger days, like I think I got caught up in, hanging out, talking, having fun and all that. I just felt like more focused, and the numbers I wanted to hit. I didn't, like my numbers, it was scary going into it because my numbers are down from all-time highs, my squat, I got hit 165, my like all-time best is 180, bench like 130. I only hit 115. Deadlift like 220, 230. I think 230. Yeah, 220. But I hit 200. So like, I was like, man, I'm gonna be lifting less. But it was just a goal to hit off, and so it was good. I just blocked everyone else out. I didn't care what numbers they were hitting. I was just I felt really mature and just focused. I had good preparation, like good training up towards it. Nutrition was dialed in and things like that. My wife came and helped me out. I really enjoyed the day. It was a cool community. It was good to be back amongst the community, like because there hadn't been many competitions and things like that. There was a few students that represented Avondale as well. They did really well. I think one of them out squatted me and deadlifted me. I think I beat him on the bench, but yeah, a couple of Asian kids, but good kids. I see them around school now. We talk about training and stuff like that, so it was cool to see them. And Risa, she came second in the world a few years back. I thought of her and, her husband. I was like, man, she's got to get back in the scene, Still, I think there's some unfinished business there.
She came on your podcast, one of the earlier ones.
Yeah. So she's, had a child. They've had a child together and stuff. So, but I think she has some, some more good years in there. But I loved it. So, yeah, I was planning on hitting the Norfolk Islands, which is in August, but they changed the date to an earlier date. Which I liked August because it gave me more time to try to get my numbers up, to train and get stronger and stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to hit the earlier one. I'm still making up my mind.
So what's the new date?
Because I don't want to do. I think it's May or something like that.
Oh, that's sooner.
Yeah. So I like the August because it gave me a few months to try to get some more weight back on the bar, sort of thing. We'll see how we go. If I feel like I can do better, like I don't want to go in there and hit the same numbers, If I feel like I can hit more numbers, then I'll do it. If not, I'll I'll save it for maybe next year.
Oh yeah.
But nah, it's good. Enjoying that. I'll probably get back into the dunk thing after that.
Oh, that's right.
I still got that. I still got that. People think I've given up. I haven't given up. Just sort of shifted my focus since I was doing this comps, you know. But no, I haven't.
Do you think you'll lose some of your hops from when you stop training to now? Like, because you're doing. Does weightlifting like a detriment to your hops?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't think too much, but yeah, probably a little bit. I think more from just not practicing jumping, because jumping's like a skill, and because I was jumping once or twice a week, I haven't been doing any jumping really. So yeah, I think it will, but I don't think it'll take too long because the power and that will still be there, but just like the skill of jumping and timing and stuff like that. Not that I was a great jumper anyway, but what I did have, you know, I probably lost a little bit, but I think it'll only take like a couple of sessions and then it should be back to sort of where I was before. But no, I haven't given up on that, man. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it sometime. Yeah.
Nice, man.
For sure.
Hey, Yash, man, thanks for coming on the podcast, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us on. It's always good to catch up.
Yeah, man, always good to have you on, brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.